Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Risk for Savage Worlds. I will be running the game for the next few sessions. So Sir Barry's Fish is going to be busy doing some other things, and our good friend Fletcher Aerosmith will be joining the group today. It's been several months since the last session. The Tomorrow Legion has been gathering its allies, reaching out with its diplomats to make friends, scout out dangers in the area, build up infrastructure to protect some of the settlements close to the castle. And so we're going to check in with our characters to see what they've been up to over the last several months. So it's going to be interlude time, y'all.
I've got the page up.
I've got my physical book sitting up here because
Nice.
since I don't want to risk my computer crashing right now with as much weird
Fewer
stuff.
PDFs.
So I'm not opening PDFs at the moment, just to be sure.
Cool.
So
they do suck up a lot of computer power.
I'm going to roll a d4 to see who gets to go first. I'm going across the bottom of the screen here. It looks like Mary Arkham, you get to go first. We're going to draw a card. You can tell us the one thing we know you have been doing. We've talked about this in the green room. And then maybe focusing it potentially around or in addition to whatever we draw here. So, oops, I'm hitting the wrong button here. So we're going to deal with club's downtime. Boo. Let's see. Something maybe that you've been brooding about or angry about during these 3 months that you've been gone. Well, we're not gone. You know, we've been doing other adventures in the side, just nothing that was interesting enough for the home audience to really know about. But what have you been brooding
audience
about?
I just missed that. I just missed everything after you drew the club.
Oh, yeah, really? Okay. So you
Yeah,
are back
sorry.
now. Okay. We just want to know what you've been something you've been brooding about or something you've been upset about your character during the last several months. Was one in particular that has just been bothering you can tell us about? Maybe you got into a little bit of a trouble from some outbursts potentially too. However you want to interpret that.
So shortly after I made my new friend, I went into a bit of a power trip of basically just being a 12-year-old girl that just did something awesome. And so Colonel, dang it, what's our superior's name?
What's that?
I don't remember what you were called.
What's our superior's name again?
Oh, there's Sergeant O'Flynn and Lieutenant Green, I think. Lieutenant Green. I think that was the one that I named.
So
I'll write that down now, so
Lieutenant-
we can just assume that Lieutenant Green is in charge over
Is it
Sergeant
Gran?
Flynn.
Lieutenant
Green. Gren was the guy that came back with us.
Okay.
Green, I think, was the one who was in charge of Sergeant O'Flynn, but we can, heck, it's Lieutenant Barry's Fish.
Lieutenant Barry's Fish now, yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
There's
Barry's Fish just got his promotion.
there
So
was a Sergeant Fred and a
Barry-
Sergeant O'Flynn.
Yeah, Sergeant
So-
Fred's the Psy Stalker, and he's cool. Yeah.
So someone basically had to sit me down and tell me that no, you're not the master of the dead. Stop cackling. or considering Mary's hindrance of hesitant giggling, because it is literally impossible for mild-mannered Mary to be intimidating.
That's funny.
Indeed. And now you've been a little upset about that you got talked down to. You're having so much good time and
Yeah.
you got disciplined a little. Or just
But now I have a mummy, and mummies are broken as hell. Unless you're fighting anything with explosives or fire or plasma.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that works out for you moving forward.
Yeah, we'll see. At the very least, it's definitely worth what I put into it.
Oh, it's worth the time and effort for sure.
Oh, for
Oh
sure.
yeah, a month to just be able to make these things pretty cheaply. Fletcher, I guess.
Ah, Fletcher.
Because I've got.
Hey, so what have you been doing in your
Climates.
downtime here? Something you've been studying on or working on, potentially? It doesn't have to be a physical thing. It could, that you're working on. You could be working.
Yeah, he's going to spend a lot of time actually doing, he's going to be getting to know Spike because he's suspicious but curious. He would at least get to know him. He knows Midnight. Well, he knows High Noon now, and Mary, so he's not so concerned with them. But he would be actually spending a lot of time in ritual divination, talking to all of the spirits of Casual Refuge. He kind of has still the dragon spirits that he asks for guidance, but he's kind of gets lost in the spirit world for a few days. kind of comes back a little bit more kind of humble and reserved, but with way more questions than when he started.
Sounds about right.
Fantastic. Let's see, give you a Benny here.
So yeah, he would be just asking questions about the history of Castle Refuge, maybe just the history of the castle itself and kind of its history throughout the ages. Just kind of
you get little bits, but there's not a lot of spirits around here that know the true history of how old it is.
Oh yeah.
But
he's willing to believe all of them because
yeah.
that's his suspicion. Kind of ignores the spirits because they're dead. What do they got? What do they have to gain?
What do they got to lose? Right? Okay, and we're gonna flip a coin here, aka roll a d2. We got another one. So we're just going down the line. I could have just done that anyway. Thanks, random number generator.
So it's me.
That is. We're going to draw you a card as well. It is also something you've been either brooding about or something you've been misbehaving on or something that's upset you or concerned you. And
well, for the 3 months, I think for the first month, I would actually be watching Mary make this thing because it sounds crazy. And then after that, I think I would go on some sort of mission that was supposed to be diplomatic and trying to maybe reach out to a community that we want to maybe bring into the fold. But as soon as they saw me, they immediately started trying to chase me and trying to get me my juices, and I had to run away. And they didn't end up joining with that community, which they were told that they had to fix that problem or something. They had to be open to working with DBs. So maybe they'd come back in a few months and see what they were like then. But
and then a month after that, news came in that the Aesthetic Coalition party wiped them out.
That town.
That town is gone now too.
Yeah, well, I felt bad for that, but also I didn't like that they were trying to harvest me. I want a person or something.
That's something that's definitely something to be upset about.
Your healing potion blood.
And then you're probably even more broody because after that, Fletcher starts asking you why people want your juices, and you don't want to talk about it.
It's true.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's so terrible. And high noon. Midnight. What have you been doing in your downtime? What have you been doing in your time alone when you need to get away from, just some quiet reflection away from others? What have you been contemplating and thinking about?
Well, I'll tell y'all, it's been a tough couple of months here emotionally for me. When Sir Barry's fish finally took off, I insisted on going with him, obviously. I'm loyal to my royalty, and I wanted to be there to help. He was kind, of course, as he always is, but he chastised me quite a bit, so I spent the following 2 weeks spying on him and reflecting on what I could do to help him from afar. And he finally escaped my grasp, and so I sat at home, and I thought about being my own man for a while and not being so attached to royalty, but I am hoping another king comes along soon.
Oh, fantastic.
The comment from Mary asking if you were done stalking Mary's fist probably didn't help either.
No, it did not. I didn't think anybody knew, but apparently y'all did, and I need to hide that better.
So yeah, it's been mostly run of the
no
mill.
comment because he's suspicious of everyone and he follows everyone and is just sort of like, I get it, dude. I get it.
Yeah.
The spirits know all.
Why is he not working with the group at the moment? Why does the upper leadership have him going off on different missions now? I don't get this.
Right, and they didn't even replace him. I mean, they gave us this dragon teller, but
actually
he's
the
okay.
ranking officer. You're ranking.
You're the ranking officer. You're so low.
Like,
I'm not fit for royalty. I think we all know that.
Well, I'm not doing it. I have enough problems dealing with all of your paperwork.
Well, the crown is heavy, and that cactus feller can't talk really, so I guess it ought to be me.
Do you actually make yourself a crown? Because Sir Barry's fish never wore a crown.
Note to self: make magical crown.
That is the strange thing about the royalty here. They don't seem to wear any ornamentation.
No, doesn't seem to. It's because they always have to put on those full environmental helmets on when they go out in the field anyway, so it's kind of hard to wear a crown underneath that.
That's true.
You know,
Maybe
while we're at the base, I would maybe get my dinosaur bone weapons balanced. That's one of those. You had mentioned those weapon upgrades that you can get from the what's it called? The list.
Oh
Yeah, from the Hero's Journey tables.
Yeah, and like it just says for each of those, you just basically pay the cost of the weapon. So I was wondering, the balanced one is superior balance of this weapon allows you to ignore up to 2 points of penalties to fighting rolls, including those from called shots and offhand attacks. And you basically would just get him to be sort of like, a bit better for precision fighting.
Yeah, with that much time, you would have been able to find somebody who could work on one of those.
Cool.
So yeah, you can just pay the cost of.
Just got to pay for them, basically.
Yeah, I don't know what you based the cost of that on originally, but whatever equivalent of vibroblade.
Yeah. Well, they cost like dinosaur bone costs 5 times the base. I think I paid 5,000 total for the ones I had before, so I'll just pay another 5,000.
Okay.
Okay. Yay, left-handed swords.
Left-handed sword.
Ned Flanders would be proud of me.
I was going to say, buy that at the Leftorium. Lancer got left-handed swords.
Yeah, so for whatever reason, they haven't sent you on any major overly exciting adventures in the last several months. It's been a lot of routine community outreach and patrols around the area, and that kind of thing. Protecting engineers as they're setting up transmission lines and things like that. And nothing major is... There's been crazy stuff that's happened. It's just never been happening to your group, for the most part. But
I should get a boulder to give to my mummy, because it does more damage.
L of Owls, one of the high-ranking members of the Tomorrow Legion, called you in to kind of inform you of a plan they had to kind of expand their exploration a little farther west. And in particular, they're wanting to, understand a little bit more about where some of the more dangerous and banned black market items may be coming from. It's definitely rumored that the black market is primarily based in the New West. So the plan is to kind of send you out there just on an exploratory mission, just expeditionary kind of thing. Head out west and just kind of explore the area, see who the players, the movers, and the shakers are. Find out if indeed the black market maybe is more heavily concentrated out that way.
You still there, dude?
Apparently not.
No, I hear you.
Oh.
Yeah, it just sort of.
Oh, okay.
You know.
You just be paused for a bit.
And obviously they don't expect you to actually find any sort of black market headquarters or anything out that way. But there are certain pieces of equipment that they've been getting from Bandito Arms, and they would like some more of them, and not enough of them have been coming through on some of the black market contacts that they've had selling them stuff. So if by chance you happen to be able to set up a more convenient trade option with them to get some more of that equipment, that would be good. Northern Gun still has a merchant who sells at the castle. Their prices have been going up lately, and I think it's due to pressure based on from their friendship with the coalition.
Of course.
So they haven't been able to give you as good of prices as they would like to on the Northern Gun equipment. So we're looking for other options. But other than that direction, they just want you to explore. They're planning to have you just be out there for several months. Obviously, try to stay alive. To help people out. Show them what the good of the Tomorrow Legion is, and see if there'd be a place for us to have a more permanent outpost out there. And let you go free on doing that. Midnight, this is going to be your first big command. I know you've done some smaller outputs around here. This is a pretty big thing. I want to make sure you feel you're ready for this, and if there's anything else that we can provide for you to make sure that your mission is successful out there. Did we lose Brett?
Yeah.
No, we can hear you.
Heard you.
I'm not hearing Brett, apparently.
Oh. Okay.
I hear everybody else, but not Brett. So let me jump out.
Hello.
I can hear you now, Brett.
I also
Oh,
hear
okay.
you.
Well, I can pretty confidently say I can handle being a settler out there. So if you put me in charge, I'll find us a good spot to settle up and find a little outpost.
Fantastic. You know the values of the Tomorrow Legion. You've done a pretty good job of upholding those values from what we've seen here, so I have complete confidence that you can be a good representative for us out there.
Well, I'll do my best. Not everybody likes us winged sellers, but, you know, if you be kind, hopefully they be kind right back.
And one more thing before you go. One other thing. This is not I guess not an official thing, but a friend of mine would like some materials for his Techno Wizard devices, and some raw materials. And if you could maybe arrange a bulk shipment of that there's a settlement called New Durango. They've got some mines there that are been pulling out a lot of good crystals. Just not a lot of them get this far out. He says they're better quality than the stuff that he gets from other locations. So maybe when you come back, make sure you have some stuff for him. He'd be very happy. I'd give you a little extra bonus for that. That's kind of off the books. But...
Well, I don't think I will say no to that. So thank you very much, and we'll see what we can do for you.
Sounds good. So, week and a half later, is there anything else anybody wants to prepare, knowing they're going to be going on a long excursion into the New West before we do it? But then we're going to jump ahead a couple weeks, maybe a week or so.
Probably not.
Are we going to be able to take my ATV?
They are, and they've definitely souped it up a little bit, just to make sure it's going to be able to handle that, and they increase the wheel size and the suspension on it, because you're going to be driving through mountains and stuff, and to get out there, you have to go over the Great Barrier Wall. So that's going to be a little bit taxing, but it's souped up, ready to go.
I would acquire, I guess, since I'm sort of like the grunt labor of the quartermastery department, I would acquire a bunch of like settler equipment, shovels, picks, ropes, nails, hammers, just kind of the things that you would kind of expect for settlers to have, as well as like food and relief supplies.
Yep.
I would acquire. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying, like, it not only will it be good to go out there, it's also pretty good cover for if someone's like, "Oh, what are you doing out here?" I don't know. We're wildcatters, We're getting out here while the striking gold.
I would like to acquire a 10-gallon hat that fits over whatever helmet my Leyline Walker medium armor normally has.
Okay. That's only
You're
gonna.
reading my mind.
It's probably only gonna cost you a couple $100 credits for that, Billy. You could probably get a better deal if you bought it when you get out there.
No, I need to have one to go there.
You need one now. All right.
I need one. It's a necessity.
All right.
How much did we get paid? How much? Like, I don't know how many credits I have at this point.
Well,
but I
just so
assume
we
I
don't have
have.
to figure it out, we're gonna just assume that whatever you've been doing,
Okay, I can afford
everybody's
that.
broken even. To make it simpler,
Sure, yeah.
whatever you've made, you've spent
Yeah,
on
well,
something.
so while we were just chilling.
Yeah.
Can we just assume I have a couple hundred to buy a thing on that?
If you're at 0 right now, yes, we'll just assume you.
Yeah, I am.
If you're at 0, yeah, just get yourself a hat. That's fine.
Okay, that's fine. That's all I want.
Well, did you pay? Did you ongoing pay? Did you add your pay for the tech
For the what?
for the tech recruiters?
Yeah, because we got a lot of money from that.
I have no credits just listed at this point. So, but
okay.
I'm not gonna buy anything else. So I'm not gonna worry about it right now.
It was like
Figure that out after.
like 80,000 credits or something ridiculous.
Oh,
I think it was
okay.
150 because it was a low level strike is how it was just like what's it called for like extended engagements was what I used.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're going to a place where who knows what the money's even worth. So.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
I'm not going to buy anything else today. We can figure that out after the stream.
Yeah,
I would have acquired
the credits
some clothes,
won't be
like random different clothes.
Your credits won't be any good for most places out there. There's probably a few places they'll take it, but most places you're gonna have to barter or do work for people or something else like that if you need something.
I'm gonna get a bunch of clothes, like different kind of clothes that sort of fit a humanoid body, just in case I have to like go incognito as like a 12-year-old,
right?
Or even just a couple like like a cloak and a floppy hat that I can pack into my like satchel, so I can hop around the corner and throw on the hat and the cloak and maybe look really simple options that don't require a lot of effort, but suspicion is a strong motivator.
All right, so Jordan, will you keep track of this? We're gonna assume you have a D8 supplies.
D8 in supplies.
Yes.
Okay, I will add. I'll add the wealth modifier, and I'll just put it in my wealth die. How's that sound?
Yep, that's basically what we got.
Let's see, where is it? Use wealth system.
Yeah, so this won't be your wealth. This will be your kind of group supplies wealth or whatever. So.
Yeah, let me see if it's. I think it pops up. Where is it? Yes, wealth. Wealth. You said we've got a D8.
D8 right now because she's gonna be on a long trip. So.
Okay, yep, I have it set. It's under my load. And I guess it's only on my human sheet because that's the only sheet where I would have any sort of money. I will just sort of ignore his credits for now. I don't think he had many left anyway. Okay, so we're doing well.
And that's going to be including, extra E-clips, food. Do you remember was this a nuclear powered vehicle or was it running on something else? I think you created that. Gave it to the group.
Darn it.
Why don't we just assume that even if it's not the same one, it's running on nuclear power now, so we don't have to worry about fuel.
Okay, sure, yeah. It would be listed in the notes on your vehicle, Adam, what it was. I think it was electric, but with an extended fuel supply.
Well, it's a nuclear powered one now, so.
Yeah, so getting a nuclear conversion would be pretty easy. Heck, they probably threw in the nuclear engine from the one that got the cake engine.
Yeah, could be. All right, we got.
It's like they took the engine, they probably didn't take the generator.
Well, we've got the trailer, so we have plenty of room.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's kind of, I figured that's why I was going to grab all of that like kind of like exploration and settlers gear, because then like you can have your piles of bones in there, but there's not obviously just a bunch of piles of bones in this trailer.
Yeah, I even have two piles of. I even have two bones to which to use. I think they were from something. I have 5 human skeletons. I think they were from coalition back from the vampire.
Well, why don't we also
Incident.
if you just have to make another extra skill on your sheet. Let's say you have a D4 supplies that are specifically like settler materials.
For settler stuff. Okay. I'll just add a skill. I'll just put it at whatever's the lowest skill on the list. Weird science is now going to be.
Yeah, I mean you can click the knowledge other and then just add as many as you need to.
I'm gonna call them sundries. I like just renaming the ones that are not used because like it for some reason when you have the little plus bit under the skills, it just doesn't sit right on my screen. I don't know why.
Actually, are we assuming that the mummy is summoned already?
Oh yeah.
Said it's a D4.
Oh. Shouldn't I
D4
roll for it?
sundries.
Yeah.
We're gonna assume that you've successfully rolled for it already
Oh,
in the past.
okay. No chance of raise then.
Unless you would rather not have it, and then we can roll later. So you can either have it just without a raise now, or you can deal with it later.
Yeah, I'll have it now, I guess.
So we're at assuming now, after you've been traveling for a while, it is 27th of March, post-apocalyptic calendar, year 110. I'm going to take you over to the map. Well, I have to actually drag this banner over so you guys also can see it. Alright, is everybody loading into that? I'm not hearing anybody speaking.
Okay. So we are.
I'm disconnecting.
Too bad none of us are good at all at shooting.
Let's try this again.
It's too bad that pretty much none of us are good at shooting.
None of you guys shoot.
I have it, but I'm not good at it.
I think the mummy has the best shooting of the lot of us.
That's probably true.
It is probably true.
D8.
That's almost certainly true. I've got a D6. I have guns, but yeah, they're not very good. Like none of us are gunslingers. Maybe you could make him a Bubba Hotep gunslinger. Like,
It's possible.
give him a hat, give him some boots, some 6 guns.
I can always shoot lightning bolts too. I'm pretty good
Literally
at
give
that.
him 6 guns.
Like I gave him my my vibro knife. I should probably just if we find any fight anyone, just loot their shit and give it to him.
What is diplomacy? A D12 plus 1?
What?
He's a D12 plus 1, correct?
For what?
Strength? Sorry, strength.
Yes, strength is D12 plus 1. He's one off from being able to use a juicer chainsaw. That requires a D12 plus 2.
That's funny. I'm just looking at what
my submachine gun.
I have a submachine gun too, but oh yeah, it doesn't matter if they're mega damage or not, does it?
No.
I mean, mega damage isn't as essential in this version. It's nowhere near as as big of an obstacle. I mean, it can be.
They're going against robots or really giant supernatural creatures. But magicians, if you got
realistically,
magic,
even a lot of demons aren't mega damage inherently.
Power users don't have to worry about it.
They have to wear like enchanted armor. Heck, I mean, the dragons aren't inherently mega damage. They just have scales.
I'm pretty sure my mummy can just literally rip apart a vampire, and that counts as magic.
Yeah, I think so.
His natural attacks would. Yeah, he's supernatural.
Yeah, just literally rip it apart.
Alright, so you've been traveling across the CS frontier, went into the foothills of kind of along the Utah-Colorado border, up into the mountains, dealt with some snowstorms, some rough terrain. It's had a few encounters with some threatening wildlife. Nothing too out of the ordinary. And you're now about up pretty high in the mountains right now. You figure once you're starting to come down the other side of the highest part that you've seen, your vehicle has been doing fairly well, but I'm going to have Mary roll a driving roll at -2, just to see see if you got any wear and tear on that.
Oh dear.
Driving.
Okay. All right. No problem. You've kept up with the maintenance, and you've been not pushing it too hard, and no chance of technical difficulties on your on your vehicle.
Wow. Way to go, little girl.
As I said, she's surprisingly good at it. Even though she really shouldn't be.
No.
Right.
Why we have the child driving is beyond me, but that's fine.
Because none of you want to.
Nobody else wants to do
We've
it.
made it thus far. We've made it thus far.
None of you big babies want to point to the driver.
But you come around a winding section of a relatively flat part up on the mountains, and as you're coming around the bend, there's quite a bit of rubble over your path going forward. You're either going to need to probably find a way to clear out the rubble, or you're going to have to probably backtrack maybe 10, 12 miles and take one of the other potential valleys to get through this section.
Well, I have telekinesis. Can I just Ray Palpatine that shit like the end of The Last Jedi?
Depends on how much your telekinesis power can actually lift.
Probably not that much.
Super is a D12 plus 2 per raise.
Pounds?
So D12 gets you 100 pounds, and D12 plus 2 gets you 250 pounds. D12 plus 4 gets you 1,000, I think.
And you're gonna
I'm doing some of the math in my head. Realistically, you'd probably need 2 or 3 raises to get really powerful, but you could perform it as a ritual to get a bonus to,
You mean a meditation?
And or the strength.
Yeah, meditation for him, yeah.
Or meditation, sorry, yes. You're going to be taking some penalties, but you're pretty good at psychics.
The other options, you do have somebody with really high strength that could probably just pick them up and throw them down the mountain.
Yeah, I was wondering if Fletcher could.
Yeah, Fletcher.
What is your strength, Fletcher?
Some of these.
It's a D12 plus 3. So in human form, that's like 500 pounds encumbrance, or a 1 ton for like, maximum.
Mm-hmm.
If it's more than a ton, I have to make a strength roll to try to like bump it.
Gotcha.
Could we maybe fire?
But if I switch, into my dragon form, I can lift like 25 tons, no problem.
Yeah.
but that's
vehicle
also
has a
like
laser?
kind of a dead giveaway in an area like
Right.
Fletcher would prefer not to use that option unless necessary.
Oh,
That's why I'm wondering if we can maybe shoot the laser at some of these boulders and try to break them up.
it doesn't
I
have
don't
a
want
laser.
to cause a further rock slide, but
It has a railgun,
right.
which is very loud.
It's very loud.
Yeah.
It would
That's not ideal.
probably not be an ideal weapon for this to try to just
Although
blow these
we now
rocks
have
away.
someone that can gun the damn thing, so that's fun.
I don't
Well,
think we
you know,
have anything strong enough to break the rocks then.
Well, we do
It's
have
one
some
big
picks and
rock.
shovels and stuff that I brought. I was going
And
to
we have
wonder,
undead labor.
yeah, could we figure out some way to like just maybe have the mummy and the Fletcher using the picks and or shovels and levers to try to like get a rock slide started, and then like from the top, like
I mean, can I boost your strength, Fletcher,
Yeah.
in human
move
form?
it.
oh yeah, if you could
Yeah,
get me
just-
up to a D12 plus 5, then I'm popping like a ton, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
And
that's
the
moving.
the part that you're at is fairly flat, so just moving a few is probably not going to make enough of a rock slide to then clear it
Yeah,
off.
okay. Yeah, it's not actually
it's
like
fallen
it's not
up, it's fallen
precarious
from
at all.
farther up, and it's on a flat section here.
Yeah, okay, so
Got
no
it.
precarious.
Got it.
So if
Okay.
you boosted my strength, yeah. If you boosted my strength and gave me some rerolls, I could potentially start trying to move the big stuff out of the way and have the mummy more or less come behind and be tireless labor.
Sure.
Hey, I got
Could I try
5
that?
skeletons in
Yeah.
the trailer.
That seems
If we want tireless labor, I got tireless labor.
That's true. But I mean, multiple skeletons is concerning for the same reason that a big dragon is. Like
Draws
Right.
attention.
And if we're going
Mummy
to spend a
is
whole bunch of time on
basically
this, then I'd
fucking
rather
dragons.
backtrack and drive around, quite frankly.
I
If you can push them out of the way quickly, then this
A
would be
reroll would-
ideal.
giving you the greater boost wouldn't make that big of a difference in this sort of task, right?
probably not,
Um,
unless he roll. I mean, if he rolls really bad, he could drop it on himself or somebody else in the process, or who
Hmm.
knows.
Can I do it as a meditation again? How do I do that again?
yeah, if you want to make it last for 10 minutes instead of 10 rounds. We'll draw 3 cards, you'll do 3 tests, and you need to get 4 successes out of those 3 rounds.
Mhm.
That's right. Okay, can I do that?
Yeah. I mean, that it'll take a half an hour though, and that kind of cuts into what Midnight was saying on time.
Oh,
Can't do it.
well, okay. Then I have the PowerPoints. I can just
Pump him in there.
do it for a minute or what is
And
it?
it's sustain.
It's 10
It's 1 point.
rounds, so it'd be
Yeah.
1 minute and then just sustain for
However many it's necessary. Okay.
59 minutes.
If you need to go
Sure.
that long, it probably won't take that long. You just need to get a couple of bigger ones, out of the way,
Yeah.
and you can probably drive over the rest.
So
Zombie,
I will. Let's see. It costs
I still have
2.
Garfield, by the way. So
It costs
Oh.
2, and I will. I'll pay the extra 4 to give myself a +2 bonus on this roll.
Okay.
I can do that, right?
Yeah, the Master
Yep.
Psionic, or the
That's the major.
That's the major one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's major.
Yep.
So this is going to be D12 plus 3. Maybe? There we go. Man, that D12 does not help me that much, but
It's better than last
so that was
week.
+3.
I'm going to take my free reroll on it.
Yeah, you get a free reroll on it. Well, because he's got a natural plus.
And
Okay.
that'll do it.
Yeah,
That'll do
that's
it.
better.
So I will temporarily increase 2
I already
steps.
have super psionics, Adam. I'm at D12 plus 1 just natively.
Oh boy.
So I paid the
Okay.
6 for that. So I'm at 54 power points. So I can sustain for 54 minutes.
Okay.
And you are absurdly strong.
So
Yeah.
what will I need to do?
And
What
then
do
it'll
I?
take me
How will we need to
2
work?
hours
Well,
to get
there's,
back.
so with that strength, you get you can get most of them without even making a roll. But there's two of them that, 2 or 3 of them that. Why don't we just do it as a dramatic task then? And then
Okay, so
for the
yeah,
to
is
cover
it
the
like
bigger ones.
How many is it? What is it going to be? Just a basic one, like a challenging, or
Yeah,
is it going to be
just the basic?
Okay.
3 rolls, get
4
4
tokens in 3 rounds? So okay, so I will draw
And
my first card.
We're gonna say that because of the size of those that it is -2 for these big to get these bigger chunks out.
It's going to be an inherent -2 on top of any sort of difficulties.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I will put that in here just to start. Okay,
Yep.
so my first card is an 8 of spades, so I have no difficulties. So I will make that strength roll.
Yep.
That is a basic success. Okay,
That's 1 token.
I'll get 1 token. I will draw another. That is a 5 of hearts. Also no additional penalty. That is 2 tokens.
That is 2, so you only need 1 more.
And spades is no additional penalty.
Nope, just clubs or whatever.
So with 1 final thump,
Boom. There you go.
just barely pushing that
Just-
rock over
yeah.
the edge.
Just barely get over, and it's crashing down. And you've shown how strong you are. You didn't even have to switch your dragon form, did you?
No, but I did have the +5. Like
Yeah.
I got the big boost to the strength, so
So
that helped. That basically went from being like 500 pounds to throw all the way up to like 1 ton of throwing. So that helps.
and since you only got just a number, that ended up taking 20 minutes to get all the rocks moved. So it'd be
Okay,
Awesome.
that makes sense. That's a good
so
call.
that's how much extending that had to happen then for 19 extra minutes.
Yep, I like that. That's kind of a good house rule. Like the how well you do the dramatic task either extends or reduces the time.
Yeah,
to
it
some
made sense
extent.
in this instance to do that. So.
Yeah, I like that. Well, Fletcher is tired but not beaten.
You are not. I'm gonna have you, even though you made that, I'm gonna have you make a vigor roll at that same -2 to see if you get fatigued or not from that.
Oh, sure, gotcha. Yep.
Nope.
You're fine.
You are fine.
How many minutes did that end up taking? Oh, you said 20 minutes,
20,
right?
yeah. So you had to extend it 19.
I am at...
Oh wait, yours are 10 minutes, right? Well, that is 1 minute. Yeah. So, yeah, you had 19.
Each one's 1 minute. Yeah, they're 10 rounds, so 1 minute per thing.
You've
So,
got a concentration.
so I am at 35 ISP. So 2 hours of rest will restore me to my full.
Hey, if you're just riding in the car and you're driving slow, you'll be able to just do that while you're
Yep.
just riding along.
Riding right along.
What was everybody else probably doing in this time? Just like sitting around resting. It wasn't.
I think
I feel like
Mary
I'm
would
probably
get-
outside
Mary would-
flying. Help guys.
Help guide and stuff.
Oh, getting really good. Yeah, the aerial position.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a good call.
yeah. You probably did that before you started moving things to make it if it was even worth moving forward or not. So.
Right. Exactly.
So what I'm gonna have you, as you're kind of coming back down after these last cinder boulders were moved, I'm gonna have you make a notice roll at -2, and everybody else can make one at -6 if they want to.
Okay.
Oh, I'm totally suspicious, so I'm making looks at -6.
I'm gonna Benny that.
I'm too sweaty.
Nope. Even with my D10, I couldn't pull it off.
If you have any kind of supernatural smelling or anything like that, or anything that would might
I mean,
help you.
Barry and Fletcher and Spike all have like the supernatural notice, but not like any
Yeah.
sort of. Well, actually, Spike has infrared and
I do.
something else, ultraviolet,
Okay.
I believe.
I can see ultraviolet, yeah.
So you just straight up ignore.
You can see ultraviolet. Yeah, that makes sense with your.
But I also did not, I mean, with the -6, I
So we got.
I did have a 4
Nobody did see it then.
and a 5, but did I manage to rest to have 2 hours past that I can get?
No.
Oh, this is
around?
while we're doing stuff still, kind of.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Does
So,
it's
Mumsy,
in medias res to the
Mumsy
dramatic
get a thing?
task.
So as you're kind of walking back, those are your outside that are done there. Kind of heading back towards to get back in the vehicle. Unless was anybody still just in the vehicle during
I
this time?
probably was.
You probably
Yeah.
were. Okay, we'll assume
Yeah.
that you were in
It's
there.
still cold out, right? It's still kind of cold out.
It's pretty actually for how high up you are. The air's a little thin, but it's
Oh, okay, gotcha.
like 42 Fahrenheit.
Oh, okay.
It's not
terrible.
It's not terrible. It's with your armor and clothing on, you're fine. If you had to be out here all night, it might be without shelter. It might be a different story, but
I'm pretty much ready to make sure, to move the car if you accidentally start a
so
avalanche.
right. So you're walking back towards the car, and then I'm going to have this is going to be a hearing check. So specifically on hearing because nobody's looking the right direction now. You can make your notice at just -2, everybody. If you have any bonuses to hearing, you can add that. But I think only like dog boys and things like that probably would.
Finally.
I assume Mumsy does not get a roll.
Mummy
do
might
not mind melt.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
They might hear, but since they're kind of dumb and kind of follow your orders, I don't know if they would even be able to tell you if anything was going on. So at this point,
Yeah.
he
If I
might
had
not
mine
notice and
right,
not even
maybe-
care. So, but it looks like
That's
almost
-2 now.
Yep.
Yes.
Right. Notice.
Although if you're inside the vehicle sealed up, you might not even.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
neither of
think,
us did in the vehicle. Heard it.
All right.
But us
Midnight
outside, we may have gotten it.
Yes.
Yep.
So, there's this sound of something running up the mountain on the other side of the wall of boulders. And you turn around to look, and there are definitely some creatures that are about 5 feet tall.
How tall?
About 5 feet tall, standing on 2 legs,
Oh.
kind of long tails, little short hands, big jaws. They got kind of a striped pattern on them. And we're gonna go.
Well, that's just unfortunate. We made them angry, didn't we?
You did kind of make
Monster zebras.
You did kind of make them
I
angry.
think we disrupted something.
All right, I need to get rid of this.
We
one.
may have. They may have been walled in there for a reason. Those boulders may have been blocking them off and not
So
preventing
let's
our
see. Mary and Spike are in the car, which I need to get rid of this grid
Yep.
here.
Zombies probably walking back.
This is like right after the shit's gone down, right?
Yeah.
He moved the boulders.
Yep. And
Yeah, I'm looking to
didn't
see-
notice that there was danger. They started walking back towards the vehicle. Midnight's probably flying back, so maybe you're over here somewhere.
Well, shit.
We're gonna assume
Oh,
that the vehicle is just right off the edge of the map, so you're in that, so that you can if you got out of the car, you'd be on the map. So we're just gonna stick you right at the edge here.
Okay, yeah. I would be sort of, yeah. I mean, Midnight's probably flying away. I'm just walking back.
Oh wow, that's a lot of them.
Shit, I'm probably not very well armed. That's probably
Yeah, but
Just eat them, Mr. Dragon.
the green.
I probably have a pickaxe or something like that. So,
Gotcha.
but yeah.
Yeah. Let's make sure that there's a angle of view for Fletcher to actually see one, so that one's there. But yeah, they're running up. So you can basically walk on the green and yellow kind of sections. It's pretty steep down in the gray on the bottom part of the map, and the top part is like upward, and then it's almost a sheer drop off on the dark gray at the very bottom. So
Right.
luckily Midnight's in the air, because if you're standing there, you'd probably be just tumbling down.
Right.
Those of you who did make your notice rolls, if you have, you could probably common knowledge at -2, unless you had some other skill that might help you identify what these are.
Paleontologist skill.
Common knowledge.
If you only fail by a couple, you might be able to get the class of what kind of animal they are. But.
Yeah, well, I will say this. If they're dinosaurs, Fletcher would just know them because he hates them because they're a poor imitation of dragons.
Sure. Well, you definitely know they're, with that roll, you definitely know they're some sort of dinosaur.
Okay.
You just don't know which kind.
Well, they need to die now.
They need to die because you hate dinosaurs.
They're poor imitation. Poor imitation.
Okay, let's get some cards then. Anybody? So those that did
Midnight and Mary.
Midnight and didn't even notice. So and they're in the because they're in the car. So
No, I
didn't. Yeah.
didn't notice.
So you won't get a card this first round. You'll get one next round. You're not gonna get probably surprised because there's no way they're gonna be able to attack you in the car anyway. So.
Okay.
Let's
I would have probably ended the boost lower trait by now, though.
Yeah, you probably would.
No, that's fine, dude. I don't need to be stronger now.
He was
so
like,
that's
"Oh,
not
it's
a big-
fine. I didn't know if there's any problem, so I let it go."
Yeah,
No, and like, I mean, yeah, Fletcher's always suspicious, but yeah, he doesn't. He's not going to hold that against you. Midnight, not Mary.
Oh, yes, so 10 should be.
But Fletcher, yeah, we can assume that for now anyway.
There you go.
Fletcher goes first.
All right, Fletcher. There's a bunch of knockoff dinosaurs running up here. You see at least a couple of them. You did well enough in your roll. You think you hear more coming too. Behind those
I'm
rocks.
thinking.
Because those other ones are way too big for you to move.
Yeah, if I was out there working, I probably just had the big bore revolver and the short blade. So like, I'm probably not in good shape to. I'm gonna grab my amulet of false avatar and squeeze it so it glows, and then just do my shape change into like, like an avian winged humanoid, so I can fly.
Okay.
And then basically fly back to the car, so I can grab something a little bit more sizable against these guys. They're not worthy of my dragon form yet.
They aren't worthy of it.
They're
You've been learning some stuff from Sir Barry's Fish. It won't pull out his Sai sword if it's not worthy, and you're not going dragon.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of sort of. So yeah, I will just. I don't need to necessarily change my token because it'll just be a humanoid. Like I figured the avian is in the Suede book. Does that work? As far as like what it looks like.
Yeah, that's close enough. Some sort of thing like that.
So yeah, and then I'll just fly 12 upwards, kind of upwards and backwards. So I want to be out of what I assume is their reach.
What is the avian's actual pace?
Flight pace? It's actually just my supernatural flight. If it has wings, I can use my dragon flight. So it's just the dragon flight.
And what does it have?
All right. Well, here I'll say what it says.
Yeah, I mean, what is the dragon's pace, by the way?
The dragon's pace is 6 on the ground and 12 in the air.
Okay, 12 in the air, and that'll.
And I think it's. I'll see. I'll tell you exactly what it says. It says, flight. The hatchling has a flying pace of 12 inches and may run for extra movement as usual. Flight is usable in another form if it has wings.
Yep. So you still got the.
And so I figure rather than keep track of a bunch of different numbers, we just go with what the dragon has.
Yep. So you can go 12 plus D6 if you need the extra.
Nope. Well, I guess this. Yeah. I didn't say I was going to run. So I'm not gonna.
Okay, going 12.
I should have said I could have because I thought I might have done an action, but I'm not gonna. So I'm gonna fly up and backwards. So I'm gonna be like probably.
Maybe go 10.
I'm gonna go, 10, because then that'll still put me like 3 or 4 inches up. And then I would just kind of like I will in broken English sort of shout back to the car like, get me one of my give me my big gun, give me a big gun or something like that. Like the closest I could think in English to say like get me a big gun.
God bless you, son.
Exactly. I need a big gun that holds a lot of bullets.
We have one of those?
It's a line from Cuffs.
Oh.
Well, I do have a railgun, but I also have like a plasma pistol and like a great sword. Like any number of literally anything that's not a pistol is probably like literally anything other than what I got to.
Okay.
There's a scene in Cuffs where he walks into a gun shop and he just goes, "Yeah, I just want a really big gun that holds a lot of bullets." And the gun owner goes, "God bless you, son."
And so then he pulls it out and he's like, this is a, Beretta 92 FS, 15 in the clip, 1 in the pipe. Is there one that holds more? No.
I'll take 2.
I'll take it.
Cuffs is amazing, really.
Well, now that you're flying in the air, these dinosaurs seem like, what do we do now? So they kind of stop up there, and they're just kind of looking up at you. There's some looking at Midnight down there who's flying around too, and obviously,
well,
can't eat you guys if they're even hunting right now. They could have just been coming through potentially.
Mm-hmm.
So Midnight.
Oh, well, I think I want to get out here. And I'm tempted to fire a bolt at him to scare him, but I don't know if I want to actually try and hit him or just hit in front of him.
They have big nasty teeth, but right around they're not really a threat to any of you. Since 2 people are in a big old car and you 2 are flying around.
It'd take them a while to get through the car to the people who are inside the car.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's even if they can even sense they're in there.
All right, I'm gonna go to right there.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast deflection on myself and then fire a bolt about here, just to try and spook him
About
away.
where?
It was about right here in the middle here somewhere. So.
Nice.
Yeah. We're not too close to him, but hopefully it startles him away. Okay, deflection first. Oh, I have that down here.
About how high off the ground are you at this point?
I think probably 10 feet, like really not that far. They could probably get close, but...
Okay. Well, you've cast...
I don't want to be spotted by other people either.
That's your deflection. The lightning shield. Okay. I don't know what the -2's for, but...
Okay.
Oh, that's multi-action.
Oh, yeah, that was just left in there.
Actually, that'd probably be multi-action.
I was probably from the notice roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, and...
It was. And then I'm just going to... Do you want me to roll the bolt or just pay for it?
Just pay for it. Well, roll it just in case you crit fail it or something.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine.
There we go.
Why don't you roll the damage just to give me a number, and maybe I'll. All right.
Drat.
So we're gonna do that as basically an
Intimidation.
Intimidation. Let me roll.
That would be opposed by spirit with any relevant penalties or bonuses. They might not be smart enough to know.
I'm going to call that a D12 of intimidation. So that's the target number is going to be an 8. They're certainly not fearless. So, looks like that is going to be enough to scare them away.
Nice.
So they're like, nope, this isn't worth it. And so, yeah, they're just going to run back down the other way, and a couple will stop and look back, and then they'll just keep following the leader back down the mountain that way.
By the time I get back there with a gun, I'm like, well, what? I would just sort of look at Midnight like, I'm impressed, but I'm also disappointed.
That's a little sad, yeah.
Well, we're not out here to kill harmless animals that aren't attacking us. We need to make peace with nature if we're going to find a real outpost.
All right, so the rest of the day is fairly uneventful. You'll actually, like, once you get down into a more valleyed section between two peaks a little farther down there, you'll actually see this same group, and they're keeping their distance. They're just kind of off in some brush and stuff, and they definitely just don't want anything to do with your big giant vehicle rolling down.
Can't blame them.
Well, I mean, they at least respect our leader, so I can't really complain.
Right? So we're gonna camp for the night because I don't want to do random encounters for this particular night. We're gonna say nothing happens. And afternoon the next day, you've made pretty decent time.
Well, I'm going to mention something. Once we start getting into areas that seem like they will have like either like coalition presence or just the presence of people who wouldn't like magicians, I will start doing like a conceal arcana meditation in the morning.
Okay.
So whenever that happens, just let me know and I'll do that.
You don't have perfect maps or GPS or anything like that here, but you are
it's
getting
more
close.
Just once we start seeing signs of people and stuff,
right. Well, we're at the middle of the next afternoon. You do see in a pretty flat plains area between mountains, you'll see a pretty decent sized settlement. You're hoping it's New Durango based on the crude maps that you had. If you have any kind of long range, some binoculars, something else, supernatural far sight or anything like that, you might be able to actually see a sign potentially. But
I don't think binoculars were on the list.
Yeah,
stuff you've
I
got.
have some, but I don't.
No, that'll go on the future list then.
But that would probably trigger you to want to start concealing your arcana just in case you don't know much about.
So I would like just do like just the basic one to make it last a day rather than an hour.
I would probably do an alter aura for myself as well because that's innate.
So no penalties.
Yeah.
So a success, and I'm gonna spend a penny to reroll that. Nope, I failed. I can try it, and I can try it a little bit later, but for the time being, I'm just gonna do the normal version for an hour and waste a bunch of points in the process.
unfortunately.
That's okay.
I'm gonna also alter
I'll just-
aura to make myself look like a human, normal human. I am normal human. I can't change my appearance, but in case they're scanning or something, and I succeed.
All right. So currently you're in some sort of armor that completely covers up what you are. They can't see your
Yeah,
face.
I don't look like a DB from a psychic standpoint.
And I'll just turn on Conceal Arcana and just leave it there
There you go.
because I don't.
Mine lasts for 2 hours, so I
Yep.
may do it.
Not very strong, but you'll have to look for it.
All right, so you can, as you kind of get an approach to town, there's some trucks driving out of the front entrance. We've got I'm trying to think of, I didn't come up with a name for it. Ninja Mining. I don't know why they call themselves Ninja Mining. Ninja Mining Company trucks are driving out.
Ninja dentist. Ouch.
Ninja mind, like it.
And there's a small convoy of trucks driving out of town. As you enter town, you will see a big old sign on wood, very old westy looking themed archway kind of thing. Over the front says New Durango. There's a lot of people moving around just inside. I wouldn't call it a wall exactly. It's like a really tall fence. It's looks like it's mostly made out of wood. Some watchtowers kind of spread around it. Some guys up there wielding some pretty gnarly looking long rifles. There's women
hot day.
walking with their kids as you pull up down the main street just inside the town there. It's a weird mix of buildings design. Some of them look somewhat modern that you've seen in other places, made out of concrete and metal and mega damaged ceramics. There's a lot of buildings that just made out of wood and not looks like they were made by hand, the planks and stuff, just to give that really kind of old west kind of feel that you'd see in an old western. Of course, most of you probably have not seen the characters have probably haven't seen westerns unless you were into that kind of thing.
Not really. Yeah. Well, the ranch, maybe. The haunted ranch. Maybe they saw some sort of, the house was maybe like that, haunted ranch.
Hover cars flying around, motorcycles, so on and so forth. And a couple guys, as you're driving past, look like juicers. They kind of give you a dirty look as you drive past them. One of them starts walking over as you're having to drive fairly slow from all the people and other things moving around here. It's not, people aren't following any sort of traffic laws or anything at the moment. But when you had to slow down, one of these juicer guys comes up and kind of knocks on your window and like, "Ain't seen you around here before. What are you doing here in New Durango, strangers?"
Well, we're just traveling through for right now. Never been out this far. Looks like a nice place y'all got here.
Tend to keep it that way, so you stay out of trouble. You needing anywhere to stay? You just passing through? You planning to stay a while?
Well, we may stay the night or two, but we are out looking for other things, so we'll be passing through soon enough.
All right, sounds good. Can I get your names just so we're clear? If you don't mind. He kind of pulls out a little like sheriff's looking deputy badge.
Oh. Well,
I'm
I didn't
immediately
realize
suspicious.
we were talking to the law. My name is Midnight, and I'm a representative of the Tomorrow Legion. This is my team here. We're out here scouting and happened to buy a new Durango and thought we'd check it out and see what's here.
Very good. All right, any dangerous folk we should know about in there? You got any super powerful wizards or mind melters or demonic creatures? Any broadkill in there?
Oh, no,
Not that
nothing
we
like
don't
that.
discriminate. We just want to kind of know what we got going on here. You guys look like you're not the normal kind of folk that come through here.
The person driving the vehicle just sort of raises their hands.
I feel like I'm technically a mind melter, but I don't necessarily know that's what I'm called.
Right.
And I am a.
I have
I'm
the power set, but I don't know that's what I am. So
this isn't coalition.
I'm just
This
humming.
isn't coalition. They just don't want assholes.
if I understand what I'm gonna speak languages so I can understand what he's saying. And I would just give him a thumbs up, sort of like I'll let you know, buddy. Like I would give him sort of the I'll let you know, buddy type thumbs up, like a genuine one, like like.
We don't want to cause some trouble.
Well, you got
lounging in the back seat, spread out all over.
He's like, well, you got a pretty big vehicle here, and it's probably not going to fit through a lot of our streets here. So if you take her back out through the front gate, you'll notice there's a few buildings outside there on the north side. You can park her on over there, and you can check her in there. We'll keep an eye on it for you. Better than driving that big old thing. We don't want you running over everybody on accident.
Well, thank you very much for the advice, officer. And we'll be sure to park her there.
You sure this little girl here can back a trailer up? So I don't know if you're going to be able to just turn around here right now, so we can clear some of these people out here.
She's a better driver than she looks like she might be.
All right.
At least I know how to drive. I sort of yell towards everyone in the car.
Well, keep out of trouble.
All of us would look guilty.
So I assume you go.
Better.
Let's have you make a driving roll. Make sure you don't back the trailer into anybody or any buildings or anything.
Is it just a regular driving
Just a straight
roll?
driving roll, yeah.
Come on.
It's a standard thing that anyone driving will have
At
to
this
feel
point,
like
much
how to do
driving, you've
so.
been driving with this trailer, and you should be able to back this up. But there's a chance that you can mess it up. All right.
Oh yeah.
All right. You get her turned around, drive out the front gate, over to their kind of parking lot. Drop her off. Check in the. They get your name and who you're with and all that, so they can get a photo ID of you, so they know who to get to when you come back.
It's just a little kid.
And one of the guys there's, I ain't never seen a DB look like her before. Assuming it didn't.
I'm
doesn't think.
human. It's just none of them want to learn how to drive.
Well, I mean that's a good cover story. Just in case you get in running into any of them DB hating motherfuckers. Yeah. Just tell them you're a human child. It's good enough.
Oh God, I'm the only human in the group now.
Are we talking? Is the guy we're talking to a human? Like,
He is, yeah.
he is okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I point at the car and I say, if it had 4 more legs, I could probably make it roll.
What?
he's like very.
I'm pretending like I can ride animals. You know, like I don't drive. You know, I ride animals, but like
Alright.
you know,
Okay.
but also
This guy is
realistically,
not
if
smart
I
enough to know
was,
what your reference that you're making. He's just looked at you and like,
yeah, I am foreigner. I speak in funny words.
all right. So you get
Well,
back
should
into
we find
the
an
town area
inn?
there, and where would you like to go? There's a whole nice town here open. Is there anything in particular you want to look for in here? You want to just start talking to random people on the street? You want to find a tavern to stay at, or get some food? Ask about local events. The world is your oyster.
I would ask questions as sort of like surreptitiously and directly as possible of the various shop owners and buskers that we inevitably came across.
All right.
Generally random questions about the city, you know, like, oh man, like, you know, how long has this neighborhood been here? You know, like, and then once I found out about that neighborhood, once I was in a different part of town, I'd be like, oh yes, well I heard over in that neighborhood. And try to kind of like, you know, just connect dots while we're traveling.
Why don't you make a persuasion roll just to see how people react to you?
Okay. I will. Let's see. I only got a success on the speak languages, so I will sound probably like a foreigner. I'll roll. That's. I'm curious, so I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna. Come on, give me that penny so that I can give it away. I will try to re-roll that.
Give it away, give it away, give it away.
Sure, just for some basic information. Yeah.
Yeah. So people aren't overly sharing anything with you. Like, so you kind of get the general. Well, it's been here longer than I've been here. You know.
Any good juicy rumors that
old man Juicy. He's been here a lot longer than anybody else here. He might be able to tell you more if you're really curious. But yep, that's if he's actually not passed out. You'll probably find him at Ma's place. At this time of day, a little later in the evening, you'll probably find him at Jacoby's. Tends to drink a lot.
And
just so
yeah, I would definitely at least get the locations of both of those places so that we could, you know. I'm doing this kind of as I'm traveling with whoever is willing to put up with like my shenanigans while they're doing stuff. Because I don't really have any sort of aim other than to learn. What's that?
We probably ought to try and stick together for now until we get the lay of this place.
That's probably a good plan.
So if we want to head to Mars and maybe get a bite to eat, you can ask this fellow your questions if you're so curious. I'd be okay with that, as long as we could maybe stop and I could buy a hat myself here.
Oh yeah, you can definitely get yourself a hat. Is it where things will get probably way more western looking the farther out west you go? We're kind of on the edge of where it starts looking like that. So here. Yeah, you can get yourself a 10-gallon or a 5-gallon or 50-gallon if you're a really giant creature hat if you want to.
I'm pretty tall. I think a 10-gallon hat will do me just fine.
That should do good. So
I want to buy kind of an expensive one, though. It looks real nice.
But then when you go try to buy your hat, so you probably pull out your credits and it's like,
yep, figured as much.
You gonna pay with that? I can't take any of that. You got any?
Oh my goodness!
You got any coin?
Don't need to get some exchange.
Yeah.
No. How might I get some?
You might want to find yourself a job.
Huh.
Well, that would do it, I suppose. But I'm more passing through.
But you're gonna have a hard time finding jobs around here right now. Not a very good. It's not a workers' market right now.
I would.
In fact, I'm thinking of closing up shop myself and heading west.
Well, if you're heading into dangerous territory, maybe we could barter. I've got a submachine gun here that I ain't using, and I'd really much rather have a hat.
Ha.
I love it.
All right. Well, we might. But you pull that thing out. I'll take a look at it. You assume it's in pretty good shape at this point. You haven't really used it, right? And...
Haven't used it at all. Still
Yeah.
has all the silver bullets and 2 extra magazines along with it. Hell, I might say that's worth 2 hats if I'm not doing too greedy.
You know, I was kind of thinking the same thing. You got any of your friends here want a nice hat? I could probably get you a hat too.
Yeah, I'll take an extra hat. I'm sure somebody will wear it, or I'll have a fancy hat and a working hat.
I got a pretty little pink one for the little one.
Ooh, you know, I think she'd love it. I think she would.
All right, let me make a deal. We get 2 hats for that gun. I think we're good to go.
Absolutely.
These are the finest hats. I make these myself.
They do look high quality. I was waiting out here to get a real authentic one. The ones they sell back east, well, they're just flimsy replicas.
Dime store shit.
You can't abide that out here in the West, but sun will eat right through it.
That is true. This one doesn't quite fit right. Let me get you. I think I got another one. Might fit your head just a little bit better there. You do have a interesting shaped head there, Birdman.
Yeah, I'm from pretty far away. I'll say that.
Now you do a lot of
Make 'em
flying.
different.
If we don't get this one that fits right, it could just fall off and blow away on you while you're up there. So, I mean, it'll look kind of silly. We could add a little chin strap on there, but that might look a little silly. So
I'll take the risk without it.
that's
I got
probably good.
plenty of arms
You
to
take more of a
hold
risk
on
of
to
getting
it.
shot for looking like an idiot if you got a chin strap on your hat.
I hear that.
All right. There you go. Looking good.
Oh, that fits so nicely. Thank you so much for your kindness, and I know our little lady's going to love this pink thing. All right. Well, goodbye, submachine gun.
Bye, submachine gun. Hello, 10-gallon hat. As you're coming out of that shop, you hear outside a woman crying out. It's like, David, wake up! Oh, what the hell? Somebody want to help me here? David, what the hell? Speak to me. Say something.
I don't go. Let's go see what that's about. Not like any of
Yeah,
us
I'm
are
curious.
heel.
Yep.
None of us are heel people anyway. So
No, I'm pretty heroic, so I better go check this out. Ma'am, what seems to be the problem
He just
here?
stopped breathing. He just stopped breathing. He's
Oh,
been
my.
coughing and hasn't been doing as good. He just like fell over here. He's right in the middle of the street. We're just coming home from getting some lunch. I didn't feel like cooking. We should have just stayed home and made food and stop being so lazy. And David, he's not breathing. Can you help
Mr.
him?
Fletcher, will you carry him to the side of the road here? We need to get him out of the middle of the street. And the lady, you
I
have
would,
any healing in there?
I would carry wherever, as gently as possible too. Like,
Okay.
You can
I'm
take
not
him
a
back
healer,
maybe
but
over in front of the gun store.
Does anybody
I don't
have
Sure,
have
yeah.
any healing.
the healing skill? This guy is.
Brandon, do you have healing?
I do.
Why don't you make
Do
a
you have
healing at
the-
-1 to see if you can get this guy breathing again? Gotta probably.
Am I
Oh,
using
he's got the
my?
healing power.
I have the power of healing.
You can try it.
Use that.
Yep, make the roll.
Still -1.
Yep.
Am I doing it at a -1?
Yes, you are.
Okay. -1. Psionics. Ooh. Heal.
You do it.
Like healed?
It doesn't seem to get him breathing again.
I'm gonna, while they're doing that, I'm gonna look at him with some exalted presence, expanded awareness. So for the next 5 rounds, I can at least kind of see if there's any sort of magical or arcane effects going on with this guy.
Can I make a notice roll and check his throat, see if I can see any obstructions?
And you don't have the healing skill at all.
No.
All right, do it.
I don't.
You probably have to.
I could jack of all trades the healing skill. I
You
suppose.
can
like-
you can do the notice at -2, see if there's since you're not really
Something
familiar with-
really obvious.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. Oh, at least get a look in there.
Yeah, you can't see anything that's in his throat or anything like that. Your
Oh, damn.
exalted magical sense is not detecting any kind
Nothing
of
on him, at
nothing,
least.
nothing kind of magical on him or anything like that. Any kind of
Okay.
arcane.
Well, ma'am, I'm not sure we can help, but surely the authorities here would be able to rush into some kind
Have
of
some
health
sort of
clinic or something.
disease? Like, did he have some sort of disease? Was he just all of a sudden sick, or what?
Everybody seems to be getting sick around here, but even the doc
Oh,
is
my.
sick.
Well,
And his
why
assistants,
don't we take him
his
to the
assistants
doctor?
are-
Why don't you? I'm curious about the doctor, so I'm kind of almost tempted to tell her to take us to the doctor.
They're like
Because if the dude's gonna die, I don't know. I guess, Spike could try to heal him again, but I don't know how good,
Somebody else runs over and at least knows some basic first aid and leans his head back and tries to force some air down his throat. Punches on his chest.
Wait, you
Right.
cast healing, but didn't do the neutralize disease thing?
Hmm?
And the guy's
Oh.
like, after he trying for 30 seconds or so and listening to heartbeat and stuff, like, I think he's gone.
Oh, damn
Sorry,
it.
sorry, Lydia. I think your husband's gone, and she just
Oh, damn.
loses it and just
tried.
starts crying and just collapses over and curls up, drapes her whole body over top of David's corpse, and
We tried our best.
Oh,
I'm curious about this illness, though. I would ask where this doctor is.
probably at his house. He hasn't been feeling so good himself. I hadn't seen him for a few days. If you really want to go check on him, I suppose you're gonna need to get a head down this street. You're gonna turn at Tanner's. And there's a couple blacksmith shops there, and then there's a crazy wizard shop or something down there, and 3 buildings down there. Then you're gonna turn left. You're gonna see this house with a bright red roof on it. Very small. Doc's gonna be that's his place there. I think most of his house is actually underground. Just this little shack on top, I think. Weird building. You can go check on him there.
Well,
A weird-looking DB that none of you have ever seen this type before. Like comes up and starts sniffing at the body. It's like, and he like licks his chops a little bit.
Oh,
And then
God.
the guy that's been telling where the directions are like kicks him away. He's like, "Get the hell out of here!" He's like,
Well,
"I'm
that's,
sorry, I'm sorry." It's... And he
That's a
moses
bit
on.
disturbing.
That's a bit disturbing.
Just a bit.
You gotta head
takes
down
all
to
time.
doctors, try to find that place.
Yeah, I suppose people are in trouble. That's what we're here for.
All right. We'll assume you find your way there eventually. Maybe you have to ask a couple directions again on the way there. You'll find the little red house, the little red roofed house. It's almost shaped like a mushroom from Super Mario Brothers or something. Like it's kind of have that. It's kind of round and got a bright red top on it. Little door in the front. Round windows. With a kind of frosted glass in them. It's very dark in there. There's no light. There's definitely no lights on. Very quiet. It's not as much traffic of people walking around at this. Yeah, in this section of town.
Well, I suppose we knock politely first, right?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, that's, yes. The
Well,
obvious choice.
You knock politely, and the door apparently wasn't fully latched, and it moves open an inch or so as you're lightly rapping on it.
Excuse me, doctor? Doctor, are you in?
And then you don't hear anything.
Well, I don't suppose he'd be out and about if he wasn't feeling well. And if there's no other
hope.
doctor in town, who checks up on the doctor?
I'm going to cast Dark Side on myself. Just basic.
Okay.
So I can see in the dark if it's dark.
All right, you push the door open a little bit farther so you can get a good look in there. It's one big room. I mean, it's not that big. It's like 14 feet round room. There's just a couple chairs, and looks like there's a coat rack and a hat rack, and there's like a stairway right in the middle, like going down. It's pretty dark down. There's a door at the bottom down there, or the stairs, and it is closed.
Well, we've already come this far. Might be breaking and entering a little bit, but I'd rather make sure this man's okay.
And I would say the equivalent of like, well, the door was open in broken English.
All right, heading down the stairs then. Who wants
Yes,
to
let's
Who wants to be in the
head
front
down
of that to interact with the door?
That
Midnight?
ought to be me, I guess.
All right.
Yep.
You gonna knock on that door or just try to open it, or?
I'll knock again. Try to be polite,
Oh, you hear?
but I'll probably call out as well. Hello, doctor. Are you there?
Doctor is out today. Come back another time.
Well, we wanted to check on you, sir. Make sure you're feeling all right. I heard you're under the weather. Lots of people might be under the weather here.
That is for sure. I am not well. You probably don't want to come in here. You might catch it.
Well, could you tell us anything about your symptoms or what you think might be causing all this sickness?
Well, if you haven't heard yet, most of the mines have been shut down because the miners are, well, they've been falling ill. A few of them have even died recently. Ninja's
Oh,
mine is,
my.
I think, might be the only one that's still trying to do some work up there. They got better protective equipment, but even some of them are starting to get sick now.
Well, that sounds pretty straightforwardly like there's something
If
wrong
you're
with
not
the
around
mine.
here, I suggest you pack up and you get out of here soon. We don't know for sure if this is contagious or not. The fact that I've got something very similar seems to indicate probably, but I ain't as young as I once used to be, so this might be something different.
Well, I appreciate your concern, sir, but I can't in good conscience let a whole town get sick without trying to help at least a little.
Well, if you think you're going to help out, how are you going to do that? You got a
Well,
doctor out there?
I suppose we start by talking to those folks down at the Ninja Mining Company. See what they know. Go from there.
You all be careful if you're going to go do that. That might not be very good. The owner's kind
Yeah,
of
I
a
do
jackass. He don't like people poking in on his business.
Well, I don't want to disparage anybody, but if he's a no-good feller, we can't be sure he's not behind this to begin with. And I certainly can't abide that.
Right. Well, before you go, I got something I'd like to give you. I don't know if this will help, but if you're going to be in town, and if you're willing to give her a shot, I've been working on a medicine. You might want to take a little bit of it. Might help hold off symptoms.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you, sir. Very kind.
And
I do appreciate that.
he walks over. You can hear him walking behind the door, and he opens her up. He's about 4 feet tall. His face kind of looks like a naked mole rat. Got those weird little tentacle things out where his mouth is at.
Ooh,
Pretty ugly looking thing.
I can understand that one.
Oh,
He
this
looks like a what now? A mole rat?
like
you
a naked
said?
mole rat face, yeah, but humanoid body, yeah.
Well, that's
Ooh.
cool.
And he's just wearing some like really loose fitting pajama, like onesie kind of thing, draped over him. This little wrinkly hair, like sparse haired tail sticking out the back of it. Oh, you Lynn Sriel. I don't know if my stuff will work. You, none of y'all human? Maybe you'll be fine anyway. What about the little one up there? Is she human?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, she's a little human.
And you look human. Looking at Fletcher. I think you want this.
And I wouldn't necessarily understand all of what he was saying, but I would just shrug non-committally.
Right. Spike, are you still like? Would you have taken your helmet off? Are you still hiding your cactus stuff from the world?
Oh, you can easily tell that I'm still a cactus
Oh, you can.
person. I'm just altering my aura in case somebody's trying to psychically.
Oh,
find
okay.
me.
I thought you were like completely covered your body up too, like physically.
No.
Oh, so like your armor's like still kind of like spiky and like it still doesn't hide. It doesn't hide your profile.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Just protect me.
So
And my-
yeah,
and
so
my-
he's definitely
and
like
I
not
picture
giving you
the
any
helmet
response.
has like a see-through visor, like
So he
so you can see it.
he kind of waddles like excuse me, and he's trying to get past midnight and he like looks over at Mary and Fletcher and like, yeah, I think this will do good. And he just like quickly like has this little injector gun. He just like psh, psh, and like shoots you both with like in the arm, like really fast, Like,
Mary
it doesn't
Fletcher?
hurt at all.
Well, that's
It's just, but it.
that was not very nice. I'm suspicious, so I'm like, I'm going to restrain myself because I'm not in charge, but I'm not happy. Like, that's not nice. I would say that in as broken English as I could. Like, not nice.
Well, I thought you said you wanted the medicine. Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna go back lay down. You guys, you take care of yourselves.
Oh, so it's only the humans that are susceptible. Okay. Maybe that's what he's trying to. Huh.
That's what I'm getting from it. And we thank you very much, Doctor. You take care of yourself, and we'll let you know if we find anything of importance for you.
That's good. All right. You see Duncan out there? Tell him I'm missing. He hasn't. I'm still waiting for that sarsaparilla. Okay.
All righty. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he seems like he's in pretty bad shape.
Yeah. Sounds like there might be a lot of folks in this shape.
Wow.
Would like the place where he injected me, would like I feel any sort of weird symptoms at all?
It's a little wet.
What's that?
Like your skin's a little wet there.
Oh, okay. Okay. So nothing like.
Yeah. Otherwise, you don't feel anything.
Okay.
Maybe it's a little cool
Well,
for a second or so, but
I'm inoculated against the disease that only affects humans.
yeah.
Yep. Yes, you are.
Apparently, he didn't exactly say that. But
No,
you can also
no.
interpret that maybe.
That's the interpretation I got, but like that's well, I mean, again, Fletcher's only like understanding the generals of, you know, it's almost like Toki, and I imagine his understanding of English is like Toki and Skliskar. Like he knows all of the right words. In a lot of cases, he just doesn't know how to put them together.
Yeah. Seems right.
It ends a hovercraft. Hovercraft.
Hovercraft.
It's a
Craft. All right. Well, a couple you've been inoculated. Whether that's going to help or not.
Huh.
There's some sort of illness that's apparently killed a few people and has shut down most of the mines. Did you still want to go to Maz?
Maz Kanata's.
Maz to Naz, yeah. Or are you gonna just skip and go try to bug the guy who owns Ninja Mining?
I will follow order. I mean, my suggestion would be to like maybe get a little bit more information before we go to the mine. But I would defer to command.
Command is not here at the moment at the bio break, so.
Oh.
Because I was thinking, if nothing else, like it seems like this mine guy might have some enemies, and we can maybe figure out who those were, and they would help. You know, like at least figuring out kind of like, you know, the hierarchy in the city a little bit more. Because you said Maz was like a bar, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and Jacoby's got a
Yeah,
night.
I think I agree with
nightclub.
that. I think we should check out Maz, get a bite to eat, see if that man we heard about was there, and if not, we can either check out Jacoby's or go to the mine. Though it might be getting too late to go to the mine tonight. At that point, maybe we recon around town and head out there in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, I follow orders, man.
Sounds
As
good.
far as this is concerned, anyway. Also, you did mention we should stay together, too, so that's probably the call.
Let's go to Miles first, and if things significantly change, we can change our minds then and there if we need to.
We may need to find a way to get money, too. Although we do have some sort of supplies and stuff, so, like, could maybe barter some stuff.
That could be a thing. All right, you go to Mars. And
All right.
it's pretty clear who Ma is when you get in there. She is a big old gal. She's behind a bar back there. Her 6 arms are just flinging around drinks and stirring different things up and cooking food behind her back while she's pouring drinks with her other hands. Got a big old bib on over her big old belly. Got slightly bluish gray skin and 3 eyes. Which the one in the center like turns different from the other 2 and looks right at you and is like, "Hey, come on in, strangers. Welcome to Mars. I'm Ma. Get in on here. What can I get for you? You're looking for trouble? I ain't got none of that. It ain't on the menu."
Well, we're just looking for some of your best food and drink right now.
Oh, I got all that. It's the best food in the whole West.
I poke him. Money.
Oh, right.
What?
But first, we might be looking for a way to make a little bit of money around here. You see, we're out-of-towners, and currency is a little bit different than ours,
I'll tell
I guess.
you what. I'm one of the few places around here that can take whatever credit you got. I am hooked in.
Oh, ma'am, that's what I like to hear.
Don't you worry about it none. Now, any y'all allergic to cactus? Well,
I kind of freeze.
I know that sounds funny. I know this situation with your kind. This is not that. You actually will probably end up liking this. It's pretty good. But I got this soup that I've been working on. Keeps getting better every batch. As long as you ain't allergic to cactus.
I don't necessarily not eat cactus.
Exactly.
Right. You look like a
you don't really
cactus, but
eat
I don't
anyway.
know. Right.
So,
But I also don't want to offend you.
I go, sounds good.
Well, great. We'll have a round of that for all of us.
all right. Dish up Ma's prickly pear surprise. Because it's a surprise, 'cause I ain't telling you what else is in it. Secret recipe. Ma's got to have her secrets.
That's awesome.
So what brings you out here to New Durango? You on one of the trading caravans? You look like you could be. Some of you look pretty beefy there. You could be good guards on a trade caravan. I bet I'm right. I'm right, aren't I?
Well, I appreciate you, and you are astute. We are a tough band of some guns, but you know, we're actually out here on a pretty peaceful mission with a group called the Tomorrow Legion, just scouting out the area, seeing who's around here, and if we can maybe set up an outpost to help.
Interesting. I ain't heard of this Tomorrow Legion out here. At least I ain't heard of it, and I hear a lot of things come through here.
Yeah, we're a fairly small group compared to the Federation and Coalition, I suppose, and
Yeah,
fairly
I
new
heard
as well.
about them. That's why I'm way out the hell here.
That's right. That's right. I don't blame you one bit. They're nasty fellers, both sides of them, and they both think they're right, of course.
Of course they do, but who don't?
You know, that's the world we live in.
I think this is the best soup
So-
in the whole West, but you know that's just my opinion.
Well, I'm sure you're right about that. And I'm hungry enough to eat a shoe, so I'm certainly grateful for it. But we did hear about a sickness running around here town.
Yeah, it's just
Do you maybe know anything about that?
it's terrible. A lot of the workers are the different mines. That's kind of the main part of our economy here is the mines. A lot of good stuff the Techno Wizards in Arnzo like to use to make their crazy devices. I mean, I got a few of them back here myself. They're good. They make good stuff, and they need a lot of material. But run a little low on the mines have been slowly shutting down, and I think Ninja's the only one still working at full capacity.
Yeah, we saw some of their trucks running by as we were coming into town. Why are they able to still run when everybody else is getting sick?
Well, my thought is they can afford to equip their miners with some crazy Techno Wizard items that armor and breathing apparatuses that there's been kind of a reports of some weird gases or smells or something up there, and whatever they're doing, and I don't know if that's true or not, but whatever, they've got apparently the equipment that they can get their miners up there and keep them safe from whatever's causing this.
Well, that's my fear too. They might be protecting themselves from their own caused pollution.
Well, you wouldn't be the first to think that.
Well, what do you know about the owner of the mining company? I heard he was somewhat of a rascal.
Well, that's for sure. Yeah. He well, he went through a pretty bad divorce. Oh, what now? 2.5, 3 years ago, something like that. And his wife left him, opened up her own mine west of here. And he wasn't always the nicest person anyway. But yeah, he's kind of got a little more bitter ever since that happened. Police seem to think he's all right. He pays pretty good. Clearly, he's got money to give him safe equipment. Well, a couple of them got sick a couple of days ago, though, too. So it ain't a perfect system.
Well, yeah, I can understand that. And I do feel sorry for him, man. It's a hard experience, I suppose, but that ain't no excuse if he's polluting up there. And he certainly ain't need to be driving away other mines. How amenable do you think he might be to us paying him a visit?
Yeah, probably won't shoot you.
Well, that's a start, I guess.
Your best bet is probably to wait and catch him on Sunday after church. He's probably be in the best mood then, and then you're for sure not really interrupting anything. That'd be my advice.
Well, man, between soup and good advice, I don't think I could have stopped at a better spot.
Tell all your friends. Well, like they're probably already here right now. But if any of your whatever yesterday league or whatever come out this way, tell them to come to Malls.
Oh, you bet I will.
I would, in broken English, ask the name. Who was the guy that we were looking for?
Old Man Juicy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Old Man Juicy.
I would just sort of since I hadn't heard his name, I would just be like, Juicy.
Juicy.
Old Man Juicy?
Oh, Oh, that's right, Ma. We had one more question about him. We heard he frequents your establishment.
She picks up one of the wet dish rags that she's got that she's been wiping the counter down with, and she just like hurls it across the tavern, hits the wall next to one of the booths, and like, Juicy, wake the hell up, you drunk piece of shit. Somebody wants to talk to you. Old man Juicy is not that old. He's about maybe he's human. Looks maybe about 30, but he's got just this raggedy freaking beard and messy hair. And he's wearing a completely clearly non-functional, because all the tubes and stuff are half unplugged and stuff. It looks like an old juicer harness. Clearly not functioning. Whether he ripped it off of somebody else or just wears it for decoration, who knows? But old man Juicy's got a busted up juicer bio harness on him, ragged. He lifts his head up, and his one eye is half open, the other one's like a quarter open and looking off in a different direction. Like, try to sleep, Ma. I know, and you're doing it here again. Talk to these fellers, or I'm gonna throw your ass out again. Fine. What the hell do you guys
Mom, can
want?
we get a soup for him as well?
Oh, he's had enough soup for one day. And he belches. Yep. Ma's good old surprise. Now you could bring me over another drink, and I might feel a little bit more like talking.
I suppose we could do that as well, as long as you could stay awake for us.
What? As he almost fell asleep there. By the time he started the sentence and finished it. Sure.
All right, we'll get a drink and a water, maybe a coffee or something equivalent if you got it.
Yeah, Ma, she gets his favorite drink set up, and like, this is the last one today. You ain't getting no more.
Thank you kindly.
You're a ragged-looking bunch. The hell you want to talk
And I
to
would
old?
say,
What do you want to talk to the old man for?
we heard you can tell us where to find work. I think he was the one who could tell us where to find potentially work, right? Because we were needing money.
I don't. He might. He knows a lot of things.
Or what was it we were looking for Old Man Juicy for? I can't remember. Like,
He would know the history of this place.
oh yes. I'm gonna ask him. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, so I heard you could tell us. I heard you could tell us about all of the important people in town. We're new in town, and I'm curious about how this town works.
Well, you see, we are situated right here, this little town, right at the end of the Great Trade Road, one of the most well-traveled routes in the New West. It goes from here, goes through the Techno-Wizard city of Arnzo, through a bunch of vampire kingdoms over there somewhere. Supposedly, they got trouble with that shit. Eventually goes all the way down to Phoenix. You get too far off the road there, and you're gonna have a hard time finding supplies. That's your best chance at some sort of normal civilization out here, and everybody depends upon it. Some of the best Techno-Wizard minds from right here. And it's not just Techno-Wizard stuff, but that's kind of what we're known for. They like the crystals and some of the other minerals they get around here. Probably gonna be a
Sounds
ghost
like
town.
the mines aren't productive right now.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a ghost town in a few years if things don't turn around. I mean, I hear they're finding some pretty decent stuff down there at Black Mountain, just up the road, and this place turns into a ghost town, Black Mountain will be the new end of the trade road. So. The only one seeming to have any success is, non-mining stuff. Jacoby's place is always busy, but he's been thinking about moving to Black Mountain too. So, being the fact, it's probably about time for me to mosey on over to Jacoby's. Happy hour's about to start, and you can tell I'm a happy man as he has this really frowny like face on it. Did I answer your question there?
Yeah, I mean, more or less, like, as long as, yeah, I mean, and I mean, obviously would make a few questions about sort of, like, who are the movers and shakers and, like, who's the people to watch out for, like, you know, like...
Well, the sheriff ain't nothing to worry about. He seems to be on the up and up. He tends to like juicers and crazies for his deputies, which is weird. But it seems to be working out for him all right. There's the Wilco gang, which you got to look out for.
Maybe all I need is
if it wasn't for the sheriff's department, like the Wilco gang would have already taken over this town. I mean, they probably own half of it anyway. I know there's a couple good black marketeers you could talk to if you need some extra crazy stuff, but that info ain't cheap.
Yeah, our mission was to try to
get some trade agreements, potentially. Our trade, our blockade is perfectly legal.
Perfectly legal.
Well, I would thank him for his. I would definitely thank him for his time, and tell him that like he was a very he was a very informative person of note.
He said, "I'll just let you know now, son. You're a young looking dude. Look like you can hold yourself to fight. But if you ever get the crazy idea to get a juicer enhancement, don't do it. Detox is a bitch."
Wow, yeah. I would nod as in like, okay, I will take that advice. I will never get the juicer enhancement. You seem to have. If I had ever considered it before, you have convinced me otherwise.
Well,
he
I guess
passes
we got
out
a couple options from here.
before he could tell you anything about the Black Marketeers.
Oh, of course.
Before he could get over to Jacoby's.
But he confirmed that they were around here. And obviously pretty easy to get in contact with. This old man, young man, can do it.
Yeah.
Fucking drunk. Can barely stay awake.
Yeah, he's probably like the what is it, the Waco kid? Or who is Gene? What's Gene Wilder's name in Blazing Saddles?
Yeah, he's the Waco kid. Yeah.
The Waco kid. Yeah, the instant he gets sober, he's like just spot on. Even as an ex-juicer.
Even as a juicer, yeah. Just be like the fastest gun in the West for a few minutes, when he needs to, and that adrenaline starts pumping.
Exactly. It's like, well, I can be sober for 14 minutes this afternoon, so if you need me for something, make sure that it's between.
Or like Lee Marvin in Cavalier, where he just finally drinks the last of the liquor and then throws it up in the air and shoots it.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your next plan? You gonna wait till Sunday?
Yeah.
Just hang out in town, talk to the guy who owns Ninja Mining?
Yeah, if we're gonna stay here till Sunday, we might as well try and find some black marketeers or set up some kind of trading.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
At
down.
least get some knowledge about it to take back.
Let's see. Have I tried to use these rules before?
What's that? What do you look at? Which rules?
133. Let's see if you can find any info, either through persuasion or intimidation,
social
networking, to see if you can find out anything about the black market.
Awesome.
So you're gonna have to be. You can either do it the nice way, and try to persuade people to tell you what they know about the black market and how to find them, or you could do it the not so nice way and intimidate people and rough them up a little, and bust some heads if you have to, and see if they'll tell you what to do, where to find them.
Well, I suppose we play good cop, bad dragon.
Well, okay. So we've been traveling long enough. I would have at least mentioned to Midnight, being the person who's in command, that I can take the form of something else if we have to. So I could take the form of like an ogre as well as a dragon. Like, and Fletcher would mention that specifically because like his dragon identity is like the only, like, it's very distinct and big. So unless we could get someone out of town, that would be maybe a small, tall order.
We'll go with the nice way then.
I mean, I could still take the form of like, a lion and basically like, you can tell us what you want or this lion is going to eat your face. Like we don't, like they don't know that I'm actually a person and I'm having a hilarious time, making them scared, but
yeah.
I don't want to cause too much undue trouble since we've already made some nice connections in town.
All right.
And the police know we're here already.
Yeah.
All right, so you're just gonna go kind of ask around some of the seedier places. See if you can get any info about who or where they might find a black market contact. That's basically what you're gonna go try to do, and you're gonna try to do it the nice way. Do you want to throw any coin around? It's gonna be a little hard. Well, you got to throw because most people have no use for credit except for a few places in town.
Right.
So you got something else of value you could bribe people with. You can get bonuses to your roll for that. Since this is black market,
is this kind of, how many days do we have until Sunday? Like
3.
3. Okay, so we're kind of doing this over that span of time.
Yeah, it's going to kind of cover the whole time there. We're going to do it at one roll just to speed things up. So since the black market,
I'm almost thinking
the black market doesn't want to be found typically, unless they're just like pretending to not be black market. I just own a shop, but I'm actually black market. But there's a lot of that. But if you actually want to find some legit, for sure, black market people, there's going to be a -4 persuasion roll unless you can bribe some people with enough value to get you some bonuses on that. You can get that down to a -2 roll.
I was kind of wondering if, since we've got a couple days, maybe like that first day we could do maybe like a security like detail for one of these like arms dealers, and so maybe just while we're kind of waiting, maybe not necessarily make a name for ourselves, but at least like do a job for someone, and well enough that like they'll at least be like, these guys are all right.
Well, there is a job.
You know what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense? Like,
yeah,
we've got several days.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay. So the
I
go ahead.
was planning on doing a divination.
Oh, cool.
At some
That's a good
point.
call.
See if we can't get any information that way.
Yeah, you could do a divination.
Yep.
Now it depends on what the dead know, you know.
Yeah, and the ones that are still
They
here.
tend to know a lot.
Yeah.
You can certainly make a roll and try to contact some spirits in the area and see if they can tell you anything. And what are you particularly looking for? Just the general question's not gonna maybe not get you what you want. They might just tell you, yes, the sky is blue and the ground is cold.
Huh.
The sky is
Like,
blue.
what's
Should
the
I
focus
ask
of
about
your-
the black market?
You're
You guys think I should ask about the
see
black
if any of the
market
spirits know anything
or
about the black market.
or the sicknesses?
Ooh, yeah. Some of them might have died from the sickness, so that might actually be a pretty good line of questioning.
Sickness then?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking like that actually may be directly relevant to some of them. Although black market, they probably also have their fair share of dead bodies.
Right.
Okay. So, what do you want me to ask?
It's honestly up to you.
I
Pick
guess
one.
I'll ask about the sickness. I can
Wait,
sickness.
okay.
Okay. So you're gonna do some
this is the mass one, and so
You want to actually go to the cemetery?
yeah, it makes sense.
That makes sense, right?
I'm going to use my free reroll.
No, it's still a 4. You're happy with a 4.
I'm going to use it. Alright. Alright, this again. Really?
Really, apparently.
I guess I'll
All right. Let me double check the results of divination. How friendly are they with it's a single success?
I just realized divination is a heroic level spell. What the heck?
Oh yeah. The only reason you and I have it is because we started with it at Born a Hero.
Yeah, Born a Hero. Or it comes with your framework potentially.
Or yeah, his comes with his framework, and mine was a dragon power.
Okay. So you are able to connect to a couple of people who used to be miners. And
Well, we all used to be miners, but Tish.
wah, wah, lose a Benny. No, I'm just kidding. And the spirit can only tell you what they know is like that the kind of the same story between the 3 different ones you talked to, the kind of overlapping bit that people are starting to hear voices. There was a kind of a thick gas. I don't know the gas, but like it was the lights inside the mine didn't light things up as well. Couldn't actually like see like a smoke or anything in the air, but there's sort of like this consistent like haze that all the lights just didn't seem to be as bright, and people were having trouble breathing without protective gear. And then eventually, and even when one of these guys died, like they even had some really good equipment to try to keep them from breathing stuff in, and he still got sick and died. He doesn't know why or anything, but that's all he knows really, and that's kind of.
Oh, that's not normal.
No, the other thing,
It's Taylor on radiation.
Then there was some besides the not breathing. There's some people developed like burn marks on their skin and pustules and things like that. It was not super common. One of his buddies died for infection that came from some sort of weird burn that he got on his arm.
Right. That's definitely not a normal sickness then.
No.
No.
Some sort of novel.
It's a novel virus. Oh god. Too soon.
So now we need to find Heistatron
Heistatron.
and find someone who needs our services for a job.
So, there is a job to get you some local currency that you can do during this time. They need to form a posse to go hunt down a couple of guys who used to be part of the Wilco gang. They went off and did their own thing, and they tried to rob the bank. It didn't go well, but they did get away. So we're gonna go hunt them, see if we can find them, and hunt them down and bring them to justice. That's the job, and they're willing to pay if you join their posse. We get temporary deputized to do this.
I think we could help out with that.
Prefer to bring them back alive. Dead is fine if there's no other choice.
Yeah.
I'd be curious as to like I'd maybe want to file on these guys because I'd be curious to know who they are. Again, just adding more to like my knowledge of the area. Like, oh well, these boys they actually were raised in like this town, and they actually were like childhood friends with these guys who's now a famous gunslinger.
Right.
Like, but that would be my curiosity about all this. It's the serial nature kind of like.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like,
they're DBs. They sell their brothers, but they're definitely different species.
They attempted to rob the
They attempted to rob the
bank.
Attempted
so
to rob
does
the
that
bank.
mean that did any of them die while attempting?
yeah.
Or did they
Did
all get
anybody
away?
die in the bank robbery?
No, nobody
Or
died.
attempted bank robbery?
Yeah,
Okay.
So that
nobody
means
died.
they're-
There was a
So if we bring them back alive, are they going to be like put in jail rather than just like straight up shot in the head?
yeah. That's why they're not hoping it's not a death. Go out and kill them.
Okay.
They killed a bunch of people.
I have no moral objection.
And what you when you ask, because obviously you're asking some more questions. The reason it was a failed bank robbery attempt because they're kind of dumb and they got handed a bag that didn't actually have any gold in it. So
Yeah.
Now they're probably a little pissed off as well.
a little bit. So we're gonna do this as a sort of a multi-skill dramatic task to see if you were able to hunt them down. So basically, we're gonna need 2 tokens from survival to track them down, and then 2 successes in fighting and or shooting to actually bring them in.
could we potentially use something more abstract like magic or psionics to bring them in? Like
Yeah.
to put them to sleep
Yeah.
or like
Potentially, yeah. Some sort of combat-ish related. You found them.
But first we have to get to them before we can take sort of active action against them.
Yep.
Okay.
One person's gonna make the main role, and potentially, depending on the action you think you're taking, could be some support roles to give them bonuses.
The mummy will support the survival roll because he has a D8.
Yeah, I also have a D8 in survival.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We can't let the mummy be in charge because then we'll just fall.
Since Fletcher is looking into all of the relations, he would actually maybe know if these guys had any sort of like dead relatives or friends potentially.
They didn't even have friends in the Wilco gang.
Oh, they didn't even have friends. Oh, well, that's sad. Okay.
Yeah,
well, then I would probably sit this one out unless I could help someone some other way. Oh, actually, you know what?
What?
Do they have? Can we get access to any of the items that they had? Like, can I have access to any of their items? Because I got object reading.
Any of their items?
Yeah, anything that or something that was like present, like maybe outside the door of the bank when they ran out. Maybe they said something as they were running out, or or maybe I can see which direction they went when they left, if nothing else.
Well, they have a general idea which direction they went, so
they do. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But you could get from object reading, maybe you might be able to get a glimpse of what they look like. Because they have some really crude sketches of them.
Okay, I would do that.
Definitely wanted poster looking drum. They haven't even made a nice wanted poster because these guys aren't that dangerous or anything.
Well, how about this? I will do that in now, not necessarily to assist, but for potentially in the second half when we're actually apprehending them to make sure we get the right guy.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure.
So who wants to make the initial survival?
So that was just to kind of get a read on what these guys look.
So I assume Brandon is doing the initial survival roll.
You had a D8 as well, Midnight?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow.
Okay.
So
the supporting role first from Midnight then.
Yeah.
Let's actually let's see how difficult it's going to be. Now it's a 4.
Okay, so that's no real.
No, there is going to be penalties for tracking them down just because
the trail. The trail.
Finding the trail. So we're going to put a -2 difficulty on tracking them down.
Got it.
So that'll be for your support roll as well. So survival -2.
God damn it.
Holy shit.
Would you like
All
to
right,
Benny
I'm going to
that?
Benny that. Come on. You're better than that.
That'll do.
Wait, what was that first one? How about that first survival roll by High Noon? That was a 10 and 11.
Was that a
Oh my God!
roll?
What happened? Why did it go 4 times?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think you might have you double clicked on both of them somehow. It did 2 and then it did 2 more.
Up.
So I think that first one is the first one that he did.
Yeah.
I can't think of survival.
First one
There's no other reason you would have rolled that. I didn't see it before either.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
I didn't either.
There's 4.
Because they both appeared at the same time. We just looked at the bottom.
Sorry about that. I'm now.
No, that's okay. So you got that's a +2, and the most you can get from any given support roll is a +2. So you can have a total of +4, but it has to come from multiple sources.
Yep.
So,
So it'll be a straight survival roll.
The mummy would like to try to help. If it could.
I don't know in this case if
it does have a survival die.
It has a survival
I don't
die.
know how it has survival trait. It actually has a D6
and
or a
that's
D8.
usually just for monsters without much intelligence. It's mostly just for tracking down
for kind
prey.
of interaction type stuff.
Yeah,
sure. They have that instead of common knowledge.
Okay. So essentially, I'm just making a straight survival roll then, right?
Yep. Straight
Sounds
survival.
like it.
roll.
Because the +2 balances out the -2.
Yep.
Go on. 10.
Well, they got your 2. So first round, you've got your 2. So you do have 2 rounds to get 2 more successes on the actual
Encounter ones.
encounter ones to either kill them or try to bring them in peacefully.
So we're doing that now?
Yep.
Well, as an assist,
case-
I'll do like preparation and do mass speak languages for us, so we can all at least communicate.
Slumber.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good.
idea.
Right. All right. So you actually track them down, and it's apparently they have a brand new gang that they're with,
Oh wow.
and it's a bunch of broadkill. So
No.
so it's not just the 2 of them.
Oh no.
So and
Is
they've
it-
got their
Is
camp.
it the fucking the roadkill that I don't think we ever got a name? That
no,
was,
it's not. I don't think it's them anywhere. You'd be able to tell them apart enough to know for sure. But you're pretty far away from where
I
that
mean,
happened.
let's put, but that would be funny. Ha ha! You see? Ha. Only.
So
It would
there's
only
you're
probably
way
recognize-
outnumbered at the moment. So you could either try to sneak in to grab them and put them to sleep, or you could just try to get in a big firefight and whittle them down. You could try bribing the broadkill with cybernetics and tech to just hand them over. I don't know. How do you
I
want to
mean,
approach it?
Broadkiller won't fight each other. Yes.
They like
Yeah.
fighting. They'll fight each other. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking I could puppet 1 or 2 of them and make them get into a big fight amongst each other themselves.
That's a possibility because of distraction. And if that's enough to get them out.
Yep. That's kind of what I was thinking.
If that sounds like a plan, I think what we'll do is we'll do your psionics roll for the primary, or maybe the assist, because that sounds like the assist. And then somebody sneaks in to apprehend them and put.
I could shapeshift into cat form, like a house cat or something, or some sort of small creature, and kind of crawl in quickly, quietly. Although, I mean, these are broadkill; they'll eat anything that moves. So, I also might be making myself a meal.
Right.
I think if I can puppet a couple of them and just have them pick a fight among each other, then the ones that I don't puppet will fight the ones I do, and then each other. That's the idea.
Yep.
I like it.
Somebody else want to try and actually get these guys?
Yeah, I have some pretty good stealth. I could probably sneak in there.
Okay.
Sounds good. Let's do that. So make your psionics roll, and those bonuses. And these guys are. What is the broadkill's typical resistance to that?
No modifiers, you said?
Probably not. I'm gonna look at a broadkill stats and just see how tough it would be normally. I'm in the wrong folder.
10 probably does it.
Let's see. Oh, 10. Sure. Even with, because I was mostly doing -2, so I didn't even hit an 8. So yeah, that's a success and raise. So plus 2 to the stealth roll.
All right. Oops. Get this one right in one click.
That'll do.
Yeah.
That's
fucking
2
do.
successes right there. So yeah, during the distraction, you're able to sneak in there, catch them in their britches.
He's got 4 arms, so we can basically grab one of them under each set of arms and kind of drag them off.
Yeah, and they're even yelling, screaming. The roadkill just don't even care. They're busy cheering on one side or the other of the fight, and you just walk right out of there.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys, as we drag out the hot.
Yep.
And And at least like 3 other guys are on the side of the puppeteer. Just because.
All right, so you bring them back.
Should probably tell the sheriff about the large amount of roadkill that are just near the town, apparently.
Sheriff Tater Tot, who's a grackletooth, big old lizard guy. He's like, "Hey, you brought back our little brothers here. Very nice, very nice. Well, I knew we hired the right guys to go help on that posse. Thank you very much. Proven to be good temporary deputies. So, here's your promised reward of 100 coins each.
What's that?
100 coins each. They're
We'll just put it in.
They're basically worth equivalent of 10 credits each. So it's like 1,000 credits of Durango coinage.
Pretty good.
Oh, so a Durango coin is like 10,000 credits ish.
Yeah, it's 1 for 10. So you got 100 coins. You got like 1,000 credits each of equivalent value.
Gotcha. Okay. 1 DC equals 10. Cool. I like that. Ah.
And the one side has like a big old like eye on the top of a pyramid, with some obelisks standing on either side of it. And the other side has a cowboy hat and 2 crossed 6-shooters.
Coin. It has been a long time since I have dealt currency.
So you have cash now that you can spend at almost any place around here.
I don't particularly have any like physical needs for stuff, so I would maybe buy like kitsch and historical items, like just maybe buy some books. Are there books in this town? Is reading even allowed?
The general store has some books. It's not like a bookstore.
No, okay. But like, yeah, I would just get some books, like some stuff to learn. Like, since American English isn't my native language, like sort of practicing to read on those books, just a nice mental exercise.
Well, here's a book that looks really fascinating to you because you've seen some interesting hats out here.
I've seen some hats.
Yeah, I've seen some interesting hats. And oh god, what was those books my dad used to always read?
Another thing was also like to either get like a set of binoculars, or like a small like extendable spy scope or something, some sort of optical magnification.
Yeah, there's a spyglass. Yeah,
spyglass, cool. How many Durango credits for that spyglass?
Oh, probably just like 6 or 7, probably.
6 or 7.
Let's go with that. Let's go with 7.
Okay. 7.
I do not remember that old Western book series that my dad used to read when I was growing up. But they got a series of reprints of that they some pre-riffs like Old West book.
Oh, like
Louis L'Amour.
Louis L'Amour, that's the one I'm thinking of. That's the one.
Okay, cool. Yeah, some Louis L'Amour books. Sure, yeah.
Yep, a couple of those they got there.
Cool, yeah. Fletcher would love that. Like, yeah, that's totally like it's great action stories. Teaches him how to be a real cowboy.
How to be a real cowboy.
Exactly, yeah, because that's sort of what he's looking. He's looking for things that will help him to blend in. Like, he's not the burn down your village dragon. He's the like, I've always been your neighbor, so please don't bother me dragon. I've been your neighbor for the past 6 centuries, and we've never had a problem, so let's keep it that way.
Agreed.
Your great-grandparents were never this disappointed.
Okay, then. So, Sunday. After church. You managed to get enough intel so you know what the guy looks like who owns Ninja Mining Camp. I never came up with a name for him, so we'll just pretend that it's a random name generator.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. How about he's Percy Rich. Percy Rich. And you know what Percy Rich looks like from descriptions. You've got a glimpse of him going into the church. I don't know if you guys wait outside. You'd probably be a little suspicious waiting outside, so maybe you go and enjoy the church service. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll go in there.
Yeah, then after church, old Percy talks to the pastor for a little bit, the preacher, and he's one of the last ones out. He's got a couple bodyguards with him. They're all human. Both of his bodyguards are, well, maybe they're not human. They don't seem to have any hair.
What's that?
They don't seem to have any hair.
Any hair?
Yeah. They look human. They're females. Wearing some sunglasses. Shaved heads.
Well, on seeing that, I'm going to maybe I'm going to conceal myself, exalted style.
Okay. Let's see a roll. Let me make sure.
Do you have persuasion, Cetris?
I just have a D4. I really only, I'm not that persuasive. So, I mean, we do have people who could boost trait to persuade.
I mean,
so.
I have persuasion, but I take a -2 to any living.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Persuasion.
Yeah, I have unfriendly initial reactions to me as well. So
I mean, as long as I am in the shape of the human and I don't do something that's incredibly stupid, I don't really have my outsider hindrance unless the GM calls it.
Right.
It's like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So as long as it doesn't get too complex, I can probably do an okay job.
Counting on, at least, as you might be the best one to get him to start talking to us.
I can do that. I will speak some languages too. Ooh, I will speak proper dialects.
Hey,
so that's...
get a little bit of draw going on there too. All right.
Yeah, a little bit. So what do we want? We just kind of want to talk to this guy and kind of get
we
him.
want to talk to him about the sickness at the mine and see if he knows any cause, but we don't want to accuse him of anything yet, obviously.
No, absolutely. I would suggest, since I'm gonna play it like I'm the butler, basically. You're in charge, like how you kind of did with King, I'm going to do with you.
Okay. I think, as long as you can get him over to us all, we can all start talking.
So this guy's name is
Percy Rich.
Percy Rich.
And
so
he has a very long, thin sword in on his side, slightly curved.
Okay. I would. You know what? I would take my 6-shooter out of my holster that's on my hip and just leave it with you guys when I walked up to him. So it's like I've still got like the Naruni pistol in a satchel, but I don't like have any sort of visible firearms on me.
Definitely
And
don't want to upset him.
yeah, and I would kind of walk up, kind of with my hands, kind of just out at my sides a little bit. And I would sort of approach slowly, kind of waiting to see how these ladies in sunglasses reacted to my approach.
Because you're kind of just walking up to him.
Yeah, just kind of. I mean, purposefully strolling towards him, but not like quickly or briskly or anything. But like I'm very clearly walking towards him, and I'm kind of like looking at him with like a look of "Hi, I would like to talk to you for a moment."
All right, when you get about 10 feet away from him, like the two ladies, like without even looking at you, just kind of like get a little closer together and get directly between you and him. They don't make any other sort of motion. But they just not even looking at you, just scoot over and make a little wall between you and him.
I would, when that happens, I would say, "Excuse me, sir. Would you mind? Would you mind if I spoke to you for a moment?"
Why? I've got places to be. Who are you?
As do we all, sir. And from what I understand, you have a very good business, and my associates and I would potentially be interested in.
We're not hiring right now. I know there's a lot of people out of work right now, but I done got enough staff right now.
How would I phrase this? I'm not talking about work. I'm talking about expanding the already sizable holdings that you possess. You have resources that we do not, but we have knowledge that you do not. I understand that your mine is doing quite well comparatively to the others in regards to this local illness.
I've told the local Times, I had nothing to do with it. It's ridiculous conjecture.
Oh, we're not accusing you at all, sir. We actually are quite impressed with your operation.
Mm-hmm.
How you are able to accomplish such success in your continued acquisitions is quite amazing.
Yes,
and worth investing.
I definitely am that. So now, if you'll excuse me, I should make a persuasion roll. He's very uncooperative.
Yeah, I assumed as much. I'll spend a penny to re-roll that. I'm not all that persuasive, but
so close.
This one, I kind of do want him to come over and talk to the people who are. No.
7.
Not gonna do it.
All right, you have 1 minute. What do you need?
I would say I am but the messenger. My associates are the ones who are in charge of the business. And then I would sort of smile and say, I have the pretty face in the group. And then would kind of escort, like would wave the others over.
He's the first thing everybody else comes over. The first thing he says is, "Next time, just come talk to me yourselves."
Well, we appreciate your patience, sir.
And I would introduce them from midnight, and then Mary, and then I would say Spike's actual name with perfect diction, but then I would say he is known as Spike to those with a less nimble tongue.
Yeah.
And I would point out that, like, yes, and Mr. Midnight is.
And what exactly is your business then? And why was it of interest to mine?
Well, quite frankly, we're in the defense business. Though we're trying to expand into a bit of trading, I will have to say. But we're so curious how y'all are able to stay so healthy when everybody else seems to be getting so sick. And I understand you might have some special technology that helps keeping everybody safe. And we'd sure love a look at that if we could provide some defense for other folks around town and maybe yourself as well.
Weren't there rumors about some from his also getting?
But we're not trying. Yes, but we're not trying to like make him. We're not trying to put him on the defensive.
All right, he's already uncooperative.
Yeah, he's already not really all that.
Right. Well, I'm gonna have you then make a persuasion roll, and since he's already given you a timeline, we're at -1 on this roll.
Okay.
To see if, and the fact that you're also asking to see his whatever special tech he's got. Trade secret.
Ooh.
Wait, didn't we boost your thing?
No one did for mine. I don't know if you guys
No,
know.
for Midnight. Wasn't that the plan?
I don't think we ever did, though.
I don't think we.
It's okay. I'm going to spend a penny to re-roll that.
Guaranteed.
Got him.
Another test.
You. Unfortunate. Do you?
Not too persuasive today.
Yeah, we're just not very persuasive at all.
Yeah.
No. Well, let's just say I've got friends down in Arnzo that's been shipping up some extra special equipment just for a scenario like this. Mining is a dangerous business anyway, and shafts collapse, people die, air runs out, all kinds of horrible things. I've been prepared for just about anything, and but other than that, I'm not gonna really give you any more details. Just say I've let some of my competitors know their best bet until they get some better equipment. They should just keep their employees furloughed for now.
Can I attempt something? Like to talk?
Sure.
Because we're in a sort of thing, so I don't know if I'm allowed to talk.
You were wanting to try to say something. At this point, he's going to probably be starting to walk away, so you'll have to do something to definitely get his attention. He's pretty much done with you guys.
Mr. Rich, if there is any information that you know about this, why it is happening, anything, if it's not stopped, this town is going to die. The doctor is already sick as it is. Now, persuasion?
That's probably what's going to happen. I'm definitely prepared to move my operations elsewhere if needed. It would be unfortunate, but these things happen, and
I would sort of, as a kind of like an end cap for our bit, I would tell him, well, if you have a need for our services in the future, don't hesitate to find us.
Of course we will. Let's go, ladies.
Can I cast a Hey, detect magic on them. Dang it, what's not detect?
You certainly could.
Alright. I will. There's something about their description that sounds familiar.
Well, both of these ladies have in underneath their clothing have some sort of definitely arcane device. The way it's put, it's probably some sort of techno wizard firearm. With the rays, you can probably tell it actually fires electric bolts.
Oh, it's one of those things.
Some sort of a lightning gun, pistols.
Wait, doesn't one of us have that?
Probably. It's possible.
I have before, but I don't in this game.
Okay.
I think Spike does have a lightning gun.
I do.
Oh.
So these ladies.
Yes, they are probably. I was assuming they're probably Altera, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, with that knowledge, that common knowledge roll at -2, you would.
Okay, yeah, I would. I mean, I'm curious. I am too formal right now to ask them straight up.
Yeah, they're Altera blind warrior women, which you can see pictured right here on the screen too. And it's much more revealing clothing than the these ladies.
Yeah,
here. But those ladies on the cover there, they're slaves, so they have to wear whatever their masters tell them to wear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's not going to be helpful to us.
No, he didn't have any reason to tell you much more than that in it, so he's going about his business.
Yeah, I feel like he totally knows what's going on, and he's not going to like. Yeah, I mean, it's like Fletcher's already suspicious to start with, but he's pretty like.
Yeah, what else can you do about it right now? I mean, that you could if you could think of something else.
You know what Fletcher's gonna do?
They're getting in his hover limousine right now.
Fletcher's gonna go to his church, and he's gonna go do a divination ritual in the church, or a divination meditation. Sorry, it's a meditation.
Okay.
But to like sort of expand the radius instead of extend the time. This guy goes to this church, so maybe, who knows?
Maybe some beings of light around there, maybe, or maybe not.
Yeah,
who knows?
So I'll do 3. I'll just do the basic one. So I'll draw 3 cards and do. So that's a -2.
Meanwhile, what are we going to do for the next 30 or minutes?
That was terrible. Oh no, another club.
Yeah, spirits are just not helpful to you.
Okay, well, there's 2 successes. So no penalty, no whammies, big money. Big money, little big man junior. Yes! Tiny big man junior. So I get a basic success.
There's no spirits around here. This is nice holy ground here, and every spirit here is moved on anywhere near this church.
Okay.
The pastor must be really, really holy.
Fair enough.
So.
Well, I spend a little bit of time in this zone of peace.
Because you're extending the range of how far would it be with how far you expanded it out?
I mean, mass is everyone in the area.
So,
right. But what's
I mean, expanding. Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. It's more of a dramatic type
Because it doesn't
thing,
like say
then,
like you can spirits within like 100 yards or anything like that.
Yeah, yards
no,
become furlongs. Furlongs become miles. Like not really.
It's like the
So
default doesn't say like range of smarts or anything like that. It's just
the range is yes, the range is let's see.
if it's even made.
Divination, sorry. Yes. The normal one is range self.
Oh, it's just because it's casting it yourself, so it's not how far
the
away.
communion casters
Yeah,
may
must be
conduct a
done at the
lengthy
site of
conversation.
a site relevant to the spirit being contacted. If speaking with a ghost, for example, conversation should occur at its grave, where it was killed, or with a personal object in hand. Oracles may only be engaged at temples, fire spirits, near open flames, and so on. So I guess since I'm at a temple, I would be potentially doing
like
divination with some sort
of
oracle.
angel or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, some sort of local oracle. Then yeah. And then the communion part, the mass, the caster may conduct a lengthy conversation with every entity or spirit in the area, and duration is doubled. So I did get a raise on that.
Yeah.
On the final roll, so it is a little bit longer, so like a 20-minute conversation.
What things do you want to talk to these? There's definitely some sort of beings of light of some sort.
I would first very carefully thank them for their counsel, and I would ask them, they obviously have power and influence in this area, and what they would know obviously about the sickness and the illness that's cascading through these minds. Because it seems to have no arcane presence, at least, in the bodies of the dead.
Well, they kind of, in their wispy ethereal voices in your head, tell you of dark experiments the men of years long ago imbalanced the world. And the effects of that can still be seen here today from beneath. Radiating from below, poisoning those who crawl through its veins.
How I would say you can clearly see that I'm no mortal. How would I stop this if I were to be so bold?
You must go down into the fire. Remove the source. Remove the source.
Was that move the source or remove the
Remove.
Source? Move. Okay. Huh.
I would ask, will my allies and I be safe from this disease on our journey while we travel?
You have the tools to protect yourselves. Use them wisely.
We have the tools to protect ourselves. Okay. Yeah, because this is an oracle, so obviously this is not.
Remove it before the black ones get their hands on it.
Oh.
And I will. I guess I can't really talk to my allies outside of this divination. I'm kind of like in trance.
Yeah,
I would assume.
Yep.
So I can't think of anything. Is there anything that you guys specifically would have told me as I was like getting ready to walk up to this temple to like try to contact spirits?
Nope.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay, then I would say I would again thank them for their guidance, and I would tell them that one of my allies works very very diligently to send to free the spirits, and she will be pleased to know that the spirits beyond are here to assist us, or something like that. He would be a little bit more eloquent in the language of them because he's kind of out of his mind. But then, then he'd come out of the trance and say, "Well, it seems like there's some sort of."
Well, when you come out of the trance, immediately, the preacher is like, you open your eyes and the preacher is standing right in front of you. He's probably sitting on one of the pews in there. And he's standing there in the aisle right by where you were sitting. And he's like, and he basically, the first thing he says is like, did they tell you the same thing?
Say what?
He says, did they tell you the same thing as they told me?
And in very basic, I would say, they told me that there is something down below and it needs to be moved. And perhaps I am one of the people who will do that. So
I think you are, my son. I think you are.
And I would do just, general, spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch, and kind of like nod and walk out. Yeah. And then I would tell the allies, well, there's some sort of, though they were pretty kind of non-specific about, there was just some source of like evil down there, or like, darkness.
Yeah.
That needed to be removed.
Something bad down there. Down below.
Yeah.
And you needed to get rid of it before whoever the black ones are get a hold of it.
Which, that's probably demons or shadow people, or who knows. I guess are the ninja miners, are their uniforms black?
No, they're like dark blue.
Dark blue.
More like an actual ninja would wear dark blue instead of black.
That's funny. I love that. That's great. Yeah.
So they actually knows.
That's
This
great.
guy apparently knows at least something. He's got his katana that he wears around too. But it's still mostly just an act.
I would pass the. Oh, go ahead.
Because he clearly didn't have anything else on him that made him think that he had anything to do with Japanese culture or anything. He likes his katana and he called his company, but whatever. And dark blue uniforms from the miners he saw driving by when he first got to town. The trucks were kind of that color.
I would pass on the information that I got as I would pass it along as specifically as possible, as well as kind of like, with some opinion on the cryptic nature, and basically say there's probably some sort of, pre-rifts, like technology, or maybe some sort of otherworldly relic. And apparently we have the tools to protect ourselves, but we have to use them wisely. And I don't know what that means, but hopefully it's enough.
Hopefully. After you get done kind of talking to your allies, your party, about what you saw in your little divination meditation and what the preacher told you, as you're kind of like leaving the area of the church, you'll clearly all notice there's several people in the middle of the street, just not too far away from the church. And they're just looking up in the sky. They got their hands up there, kind of trying to block out some of the sunlight so they can kind of see what's going on. And a few of them are kind of pointing like, Yeah, like one of them say, and then somebody else kind of walks out of their front door of their shop, and they're like, and they look up too, and like, yep, it's back again.
What
And
is
he
it?
just he goes back inside. So everybody make a notice roll. See if you see it.
Regular notice roll? Oh, shoot.
Oh, Fletcher, definitely.
9.
9. Everybody noticed it, so everybody got just a regular success. We'll kind of follow where people are looking and pointing, and there's a very small kind of shimmering orb in the air. Doesn't look like it's moving, not making any sound.
It's an orb.
Yep. You can't tell if it's putting out light or it's reflecting the sunlight. But it looks like Spike and Fletcher Aerosmith, you can catch it a little bit sooner, and it's definitely seems to be putting out light itself with the angle that where the sun is. I wouldn't say it's like reflecting off of anything. But
So it's actually producing the light.
Yeah, it looks like, and it looks like around the kind of whitish glow in the center, there's maybe a little haze around the outside of it. It's kind of distorting the blue sky behind it a little bit. Those of you who got the normal notice don't notice that part. And then it just kind of like quickly shrinks and disappears.
Well, that was I would say that was unexpected in Eldon.
Yes, and a bit disconcerting.
Um,
Nobody around seemed too scared.
how would one quantify that? Would that be common knowledge? Science, occult, like
You might with occult. You might with like
So cool.
history's going to be under like some like research or something like that, probably. And you'd have to have
okay, so I'll just yeah.
depending on what your backstory is, if you would have read certain things to have an idea about it, whether you'd be able to make the roll or not.
Yeah, I mean it's
I'll make a
Fletcher
reroll
would read
for-
whatever he came across, but he wouldn't study things specifically. You know, like
Yeah, so probably
he
gonna
would just
it's
consume.
probably gonna occult's the best we're gonna get on this.
Okay. So yeah, you know what?
Yeah, figures.
I would maybe ask some people. What was that?
What was that? Like, it was like
Wait a second.
that was a UFO.
Huh. What?
That's what
What
they
was
say.
that circular?
That was a UFO. Well, we get them all the time out here.
Oh. UFO. Does that stand for something?
You know, it probably does. I have no idea.
Oh. And Fletcher is disappointed, and now he must know. Like, what does the UFO stand for? Like,
Oh.
at first you had my curiosity, and now you have my attention. Okay, well. Oh, Brett probably has to leave pretty soon.
Yeah, I
doesn't he?
think this is kind of where I was planning to end it anyway. So
Yep.
yeah, you guys saw UFO, whatever the heck that means.
Alien. Maybe.
Maybe. Oh, yeah, little glowing orb in the sky that was there briefly. Didn't move, didn't make a sound, just disappeared. There's a weird sickness going around. The miners are getting sick. Some of them dying. They've had to shut most of them down. The spirits around the church said there's something underground that needs to be removed. Good times. Well,
Yeah.
thanks everybody for tuning in for today's session of Savage Riffs. Check out Savage Riffs and the Savage Worlds role-playing game system from Pinnacle Entertainment Group at peginc.com, and check out palladiumbooks.com for Riffs and other Palladium games. Lots of great stuff there. We will be back probably in another week, if not 2 weeks. We try to do this every Saturday that we can all get together. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.